Oh, the song.
The
Got
song.
It. Yeah, I got it. Yep.
That Kilborn was all over that. And I thought, they'll never put me in a commercial. But they did, which was Kerry Strug, fresh off of the 96 Olympics, being carried off by Bella Caroli. And she got her mom was on the set, and I don't think she was very happy that her daughter was being passed off from one guy to the next.
I remember that.
So I forget. I either received Kerry Strug from Keith and handed her off to Larry Beal or Carl Ravitch. The ultimate gag was then she was eventually passed off to the Michigan State Spartan mascot, and that was the end of the commercial.
This Don't Walk commercial is really funny.
It's great. It's great.
Little Penny's in this.
Oh, my God.
Oklahoma State
very,
mascot.
very funny.
The Marlin. A lot of Gary Miller.
But the one I get all the time is the Lou Duva commercial where, it's a commercial break. And he comes in, he's like my corner man, and I'm like, cut me, Lou. And, he's like, give him some tea. And I extend my pinky, which was an ad lib on my part. And I just say, the teleprompter's moving too fast. I can't keep up, which was the script. And they said to Lou Duva, just work him over like you're working somebody in the corner. And he would slap me. He literally did slap me. But the beeps that you hear in the commercial are because he was doing his thing. He could not deliver enough safe for work language in a row for them to use even 5 seconds without having to bleep him out.
That's so funny. Wow.
Good memory lane stroll to end this week.
Stuff, man.
We thank everybody for joining today. Tom Verducci, David Aldridge, Mike Pereira, and Mike O'Malley, and you especially. I know the world feels like it's spinning off its axis. If there's any way that we could help with that by putting it back on the axis, then we'll be here for you. We'll be here for you Monday. I hope that the weekend is happy, healthy, and safe, and that justice and peace are found. 844-204-RICH. We'll chat with you on Monday.
Clarity. Focus. Rest. Relaxation. From the creators of the Calm app, hear 24 hours of relaxing music and soothing soundscapes to clear the mind and expand awareness. The Calm Channel, SiriusXM Channel 68. Or listen at home with Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, or however you stream in the house.
Drip, drip, drip. Hear that? It's your business's online reviews. And while you wait for the next drop, more businesses are switching to Podium, the quickest way to turn your best customers into your biggest fans online. Podium makes it easy to connect your customers to the review sites you care about most, so they can see how much their feedback really matters, and you can get more of the stellar online reviews your business deserves. Visit podium.com to learn more about review management. Podium. Become the obvious choice online.
Your customers have great stories to tell. Some short, some long. Stories of intrigue, drama, action, adventure, and sometimes comedy. What are these stories? Believe it or not, it's your business's online reviews. And if you want to hear them all, switch to Podium, the convenient way to find and connect your customers to Google, Facebook, TripAdvisor, and tons of industry-specific sites that make the most sense for your business. Go to podium.com to discover and manage your customers' amazing stories. Make Podium your unfair advantage.
Capital One knows life doesn't alert you about your credit card.
Hey, couch surfers, we've got nonstop tunes to keep you rocking while you work. Oh, and Colleen, yes, you Colleen with a K. Your free trial of Movie Plus ends tomorrow, and your card may be charged. Do you want to continue or cancel?
So meet Eno, the Capital One assistant. Eno looks out for surprise charges, like when free trials expire, and helps if you need to fix them. Eno, another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Limitations apply.
This is Zach Harper from NBA Radio. Live sports is on hold as we all face a time of uncertainty in the world. If you need a break from it all, even for a short time, we're on NBA Radio talking about what might happen for the rest of the season.
If the league does start in June, it changes the whole landscape of how you think in 2020.
He has to present the ideas as if they all have a chance of happening.
Basketball will return, but in the meantime, we're here for you. Keep it tuned to SiriusXM, NBA Radio, Sirius 207, XM86, and the SiriusXM app.
June is a very special month.
Why?
Because we celebrate both dads
and grads.
Check out SiriusXM.com/gift ideas for gifts that show dads how much they're appreciated.
And thoughtful things to celebrate your favorite graduate success. The Dads and Grads Gift Guide is brought to you in part by Cremo. Give your dad or grad the gift of the Barber Grid experience at home.
with Cremo. Check out SiriusXM.com/gift ideas to learn more.
This, I love it, is the Rich Eisen Show.
I'm waiting to hear what happened. Like, when did these conversations go down? I mean, honestly, that's one of the first questions I would ask, Michael. Why did this not happen? Did you not get a contract offer? Did you never say to Jerry, I'd come back if Bill returns, X, Y, Z happens?
This is the Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at noon Eastern on Dan Patrick Radio Channel 211 and on the SiriusXM app.
Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
The Tony Bruno Show.
The man chosen to save American radio from its horrible future.
He didn't invent radio. He just perfected it.
Tony Bruno Show with Harry Maid.
Parental discretion is advised.
The godfather of sports radio.
It is a final.
Here is Tony Bruno.
Tony Bruno.
Hello, everybody. Thank God it's Friday. Let me repeat. Thank God it's Friday. Harry Mays, are you feeling this Friday?
Yeah, I am, but I gotta be honest, and I hinted at this yesterday. This has been the longest short week of my life.
I will agree with that after the last couple of days.
For many different, well, we've only had 4, and I'm telling you, they've all been tumultuous.
How many have we had? Exactly.
There's been a lot of stuff going on this week.
Been a rough week for a lot of people, and the good news today as we start the show, and normally we don't talk politics on the show, but this is not a political story. This is the top story in this country after what's been going on in the city of Minnesota, where Robin and I were there a couple of years. Great people, a lot of friends that we've made there, a lot of friends who listen, people we know in the media, and a lot of great people. But they finally arrested the Minnesota police officer who was fired after the unbelievable video surfaced of him with his knee on the neck of a local man by the name of George Floyd. Floyd died a short time later. It was caught on tape, and they finally arrested him. And he was in Florida, Harry.
Right.
Because people were protesting outside of his house. Mm-hmm. He bolted and went down to Florida, and that's where they arrested him today. The charges are third-degree murder and other charges, and people are wondering why it's not first-degree murder. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm assuming that the fact that he did not actually kill him at the time.
It was not premeditated. First degree has to be premeditated.
Exactly. Like if he pulled a gun out and shot the guy dead, that would be first-degree murder. So the bottom line is he's been caught. He's been taken in. It took him a week. I don't know why it took him this long after 3 nights of violent protest.
He was a freaking coward and took off.
It doesn't matter. They knew where he was. You don't think they could have found him in his house? Protesters knew where his house was in Florida.
It's unbelievable.
They were doxing the guy. They were telling people where he lived. People were out in front of his house in Minnesota and also in Florida. So they could have gone there, and the FBI could have gotten him in 10 seconds.
You know, there happened to be, I think 18 previous complaints about this officer.
Exactly. The guy's a scumbag.
18.
It's unbelievable how he was still on the force.
Yeah.
Exactly. And by the way, Amy Klobuchar, who was the the district attorney in the same county where she represents Minnesota and Minneapolis, St. Paul, she let this guy off the hook in 2006 for shooting and killing a man. And so there's a lot of blame to go around. I'm not here to place blame. I'm here to say I'm glad that they finally arrested this guy. But what the hell took these people so long? You can't arrest a guy and string him up in the middle of the street, even though I would have no problem if they did that. If they dragged this cop out of the house and strung him up, even though I'm for due process, I don't think a lot of people would have been upset, Harry.
Yeah, I don't know how much due process we really need here, do we?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It was caught on camera.
Anybody who thinks that there are people out there who are in favor of this guy getting off the hook, then you are not part of the real sane society. Anybody who saw that tape knew immediately that guy should be arrested and sent to jail forever. People are calling for the death penalty. See, I believe in the death penalty when there's capital crimes. But the same people who now want this guy killed don't go outside and protest when there's somebody who's going to be executed in states where it's allowed. with the death penalty. So you can't have it both ways. This guy should be subject to the death penalty.
Well, the other thing is what happens to the other 3 police officers on that crew that stood by and allowed this to happen for 6, 7, 8 minutes, whatever it was.
They'll be charged, too, but they can't be charged with murder.
No,
they
I
can
know.
Be accessory
I
to
know.
a crime.
I get that.
Again, I'm not a lawyer, but the bottom line is this, and I'm not blaming Amy Klobuchar, but Amy Klobuchar comes out this morning, obviously wants to be the vice presidential nominee, and then she announces the arrest. This is the same woman who allowed this cop to go free.
Right.
So you can't
Not
go out
just
there.
her. There's
no, but she was the DA, Robin.
She's the only one anybody knows and anybody cares about.
Exactly.
She's definitely part of the system. I mean,
the governor failed. The mayor of Minnesota failed. The district attorney failed. The attorney general of Minnesota failed.
The police union, who probably was defending his behavior from before, failed too. As far as I'm concerned.
Everybody failed. This is why I've always been anti-government, because the government we entrust. We give them our money to help us, protect us, take care of our streets, our police, our protection, our trash pickups, the roads. That's what government's supposed to do, protect its citizens. But the government failed at every level conceivable. Whoever you want to blame them. The bottom line is you can't allow unfettered violence and destruction of business and civilian businesses, which probably will never come back in that same neighborhood that people are torching. And I don't care who, you can blame whoever you want. Antifa, local people, out-of-towners. There's a lot of blame here. I'm not picking out, I don't have an agenda here. I want this guy brought to justice, and I want people to stop trashing their cities and burning everything up.
The saddest thing is there's a video that was posted by George himself prior to his death, talking about the youth of today and how violence is not the answer, and going out with guns and doing stuff and stealing is not the answer. And all of these people that went out supposedly in his name, and this was the exact opposite of what he would have wanted.
Because it's not the people out there.
It's just
there's multiple types of groups of this. You've got the legitimate protesters who demand justice. They're allowed to go out there just like the other protesters who went out and demanded that their businesses be reopened. They're the same thing. Now, this is more violent, so I'm not comparing the two. I'm saying we have a right to protest, and we always have.
Correct.
At least in the America I grew up in and the one we still live in today. You have a right, your First Amendment right, to protest when you feel an injustice has occurred. That's how it works. Same thing with these governors shutting down businesses, and now the same thing with these people who allowed businesses to burn down without any kind of protection for the people or the businesses. And when you tell the police to stand down and let people just go out and have anarchy going on, if you support that, then I don't know what's wrong with you. There's nothing good about torching cities. I don't care how mad you are. So that's my opinion. That's what I say. I look at it objectively. I don't care what political party runs the city, who the mayor is, who anything else. But those are the people that make their decisions in their states and their cities. We want the local governments to take care of their own cities, and they failed. That's the fact. That's not an opinion. That is a stone-cold, lead-pipe fact, Harry Mason. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So thank God this guy's been arrested, and hopefully sanity and peace will be restored. And so the people in Minnesota can clean up the damage and all of the businesses that have been looted. And who knows if those businesses go back into that community. How many people, when they finally get a chance to go back to their jobs, will have jobs now because of senseless looting and rioting? It's just stupid, man. It's just stupid. And they take over a police station, and I'm watching this last night, and you can see these, and those are the people. They're the miscreants. And by the way, there's a lot of, this isn't a race thing, because there were white people torching the police station. We were watching it. These people get gasoline poured right outside in the grass. I saw a couple of white dudes with masks with wire cutters taking down the barriers in front of the police station. So this isn't about black people doing the wrong thing. This is about a bunch of people, opportunists, those who want to create anarchy, who are the ones setting the fires and going into the police station. Then you have the people who will loot because they know the police aren't anywhere to be found.
Well, they're going to stand down, basically.
Yeah, they know. For example, there's no police protection.
Right.
What do the people who have evil intentions do? They go out there and loot. They go into stores and walk out with free
TVs.
stuff. Because they're not going to be arrested because the police aren't there. This is just human nature. I'm not saying they're right.
Let me throw something in. I can understand the anger directed at that police station.
Absolutely.
And the destruction of that police station. I do understand that because there's a lot of, but all of the other stuff where people were, how is protesting stealing, 60-inch TVs? That is just opportunism. And that should not be allowed. I do understand the anger directed at the police station.
Of course. I was angry from the second I saw that video. So please, people, just try to be reasonable and understand. The thug cop has been brought to justice, and hopefully
hopefully he gets brought to justice. He's arrested right now.
Yeah, but they're not letting him out.
Well,
this isn't Philadelphia. It was Philadelphia. They'd let him out on bail, on no cash bail by tonight.
They might do that in New York, too.
Well, hopefully they don't do it in Minnesota.
Minneapolis, yeah.
Exactly. This is not a political argument to me. I don't do political arguments. I don't take sides. I look for fairness, and I have in 50 years of doing radio. I've always supported the little guy. I've always stood up for people who are oppressed, people who are misused, abused, anything else. So in this world now where everything's about politics, nobody can look at things logically and right down the middle and say, this is the problem here. You watch that the last couple of nights. It's sickening, man. And people are defending the rioting as a justification for being angry. That's just idiotic. If you think rioting is justification for being pissed off, then every city in America, every time something stupid happens, is going to riot.
I know.
People don't have jobs to go back to. And now there are more people who won't have jobs to go back to because they torched auto zones and restaurants and everything else. To think that that's justified is just insane. Just insane. So anyway, that's my position on that. I wanted to get out of the way because it's the big story. And to avoid it is just not being aware of what's really going on. And even if there were sports, I would still give an opinion on this because it just happened today, and they got the cop, and hopefully he's brought to justice. That's how it works in a democratic republic. If you don't like it, then, geez, we're not getting it back to the Eagles.
But
Are we, Harry? We're not getting it back to the Eagles.
Mullen coming on?
No, I don't know. No, I don't think he is today.
You know who we are getting it back to, though, very shortly?
Gambling?
Yeah, actually, that might be part of the
eventually.
conversation, yes.
It might.
The great Joe Yunus is going to be on the show today.
Exactly.
You know who else is going to be?
Former producer of ours.
Bruce Arians is going to be on today.
4:20.
Is that time, is that significant of anything?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Bruce Arians of your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, former Temple Owl great, former Arizona Cardinal, man who's been around football, and he will be wearing his Kangol hat, but not backwards like Joe Krause does.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he does when it's not game days. I don't know.
No, Joe Krause, the man in charge of this program, he always wears it backwards.
Right.
You never see him wear it forward, the Kangol. But Arians goes both ways, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know about that.
No, I mean, he wears it backwards and forwards. Come on, Harry. What's the matter?
Jeez, Harry.
Not that I would know.
Your mind's in the gutter.
It's ridiculous, man. We got all kinds of good stuff. The NHL awards were. Did you watch
Yes.
There was no show, but they just announced the awards in the NHL. And pretty much the Boston Bruins organization won everything. It was a clean sweep. No wonder why they're pissed off at the possibility of having to do a round robin when they had the most points in the NHL.
100.
They had the best goaltending tandem, fewest goals against, 167. And
Tuukka Rask and Yaroslav Halak.
There's a hard K on Halak.
And also David Pasternak.
Yes.
A.K.A. Pasta.
Exactly right.
Won the Maurice Rocket Richard Trophy.
Well, he tied with Alex Ovechkin, who won his 9th Rocket Richard Award, but they each had 48 goals, so they share the award this year. I wonder if they cut it in half or they make a separate trophy. But, I mean, let's be honest. Ovechkin is the modern-day sniper of all snipers in the NHL. Is there any doubt about that, Harry?
No, not
He's
at all.
He's a machine, man.
And the Oilers' Leon Draisaitl earned his first ever, the first and his first Art Ross Trophy after leading the league with 110 points.
Not at Ross. That's been burned down, so he won't be able to go pick up the trophy at Ross. Dress for less, Harry. And also, Phase 3 of the return of hockey is now apparently going to be July 10th when training camp will start for the NHL players who are going to go back and eventually play and finish out the season and hoist the cup later on in the fall. Meanwhile, not the Jim Ross Trophy. That was given away to Mike Tyson the other night on AEW Dynamite. We're just getting started. It is a Friday. We'll have some Tito's later on. the great Joe Yunus, and a whole bunch more just getting started. Stick around. Tony, Harry, Miss Robin, the whole gang on Sirius XM 211.
Did you have to think about?
Well, I didn't know which way I was going to go that time. I could have gone multiple ways, sort of like Bruce Arians with the
You
hat.
guys are on everywhere. Oh.
I would never. Yeah, on ESPN 950.
There's no reason to advertise that big.
Get that damn. Although I have Dunkin' stock, so leave it up there.
Oh.
I bought Dunkin' Donut stock like 8 years ago.
I'm already like 6 munchkins deep, so.
Dude, how many more? You got all the same, or did you mix up the munchkins?
No, I went boring. All the same.
You got to get the chocolate ones, man. You got to get the dark munchkins. Those are tremendous.
All they had was glaze.
And was it through the drive-through or was it curbside? Oh, they were allowing you to go in now.
They did, yeah.
Wow.
That was a bold move by me, but.
We have a bra update today too, Harry.
Which
I'm wearing one, you mean?
No, not that one. No. Phil Mickelson's not wearing one today either.
Sorry.
Dean, you better get rid of that Twitter stock, man. That thing's crashing harder than Governor Pritzker in Minnesota after he falls over drunk getting off his boat.
Good. I might be able to get rid of my account this weekend then.
What, Twitter?
Yeah. I'd love to do that.
Krispy Kreme bra. No, we have a bra update later on. Huh?
You talking about a BRAH award?
A silk bra.
Like bra.
Silk bra will be 100% behind me on this.
There's just a slight
I know what you're talking about.
differentiation in the way you shape your mouth when you say it. Not
I say it
bra,
properly.
Bra.
No, it's bra.
Bra.
It's bra, B-R-U-H. Then it's
That's
bra.
bruh.
That's bra.
I'm saying bra.
Wait, Robin, you're the whitest person in the city, and you're going to tell me how to say bra, bruh? Or bro,
I
or
might
bo?
be the widest, but I am the best at pronouncing things. So
yeah,
there.
right. Diction is my specialty, Robin.
Please. Oops. Oh, no.
The funniest meme is NFL memes. It's a dude throwing a trash can in Minnesota, and breaking news, man spotted throwing Kirk Cousins at the police during the Minneapolis riots. You can't get any colder than that.
For those of you who are having allergy problems today, it is because Alexa told us this morning, the pollen count is extremely high in the Philadelphia area. So my nose is itchy. It's awful. Robin, where's the cat? The cats are upstairs. They're afraid of coming down here with all these people. It's funny. They've never been this absent, which is also weird because it's so hot. We don't have air conditioning on the main floor right now. We didn't put the air conditioner on there since everybody's down here.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
It is a free-for-all, freaky-deaky Friday, Harry. Talk with Joe Yunus, Bruce Arians of your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Rob Parker from Fox Sports 1. It's been a bad week for ESPN, Harry.
Oh, yeah? Them too?
Well, Rob Parker used to work he works at Fox Sports 1 now. And the bad week for ESPN began on Sunday night when the documentary about Lance Armstrong tanked in the ratings after all the Last Dance ratings were through the roof. And
well, I mean, you never want to follow the guy. You want to follow the guy that follows the guy, like in coaching.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be the next documentary after the Last Dance.
No, you're right. And they got a bunch of good ones. And I'm not saying this isn't even good. It's just that there's not a lot of real deep sentiment about it.
He's an unlikable cat.
He really is. And he did it to himself.
You know, Tony, that's true. That's actually true that you never want to follow. You want to follow the guy that followed the guy, because that's happened with every place where you have left. The guy who's coming after you tanked.
Well, I don't worry about that. You know, when I leave a place, whoever replaces me, I don't wish them ill will.
Well, you burn it down.
I usually torch the place.
Yeah, you torch it.
It's like an AutoZone.
Exactly.
Just think of AutoZone, and you'll think of what I. No, I don't do that. I torch program. I don't torch the organization.
Well, yeah, that's right.
I don't hate the players.
No.
I just hate the game.
I hate we hate the PDs.
It's not my
Rightfully
fault
so.
that there are people who make stupid mistakes
I know.
in positions of power. I just got over ripping people in positions of power who don't know what they're doing.
And the problem is you can't vote those guys out.
Well, you can't. Well,
It's
you're
an
right.
outrage.
You know what I
You're
mean?
right. Then you eventually get fired, though, after they've had 15 chances to fail.
Right.
Not always.
That's what's good about it.
There's
Right.
like some of them that just like stay on and on. You're like, how are they still there?
Exactly. Meanwhile, we got a lot of stuff. So anyway, we'll talk about the bad week for ESPN, and I don't have any bad feelings about ESPN. Chris Mortensen, I got a lot of friends. They come on the show. I don't rip the entire organization, but it's been a bad week, and I will explain that throughout the program. And Rob Parker will put the dagger in him later on because that's the freshest shots at ESPN. Meanwhile, do we have the man on the phone right now? Ladies and gentlemen, it's sort of like old home week on the program, Harry. We always bring back our friends to show you that wherever we worked and when we worked together, we always got along with those we worked with.
Right.
You know, Tim McManus, we've had him on the show. And Kevin McAlpin's doing great down in Atlanta.
And a lot of these guys have gone on to bigger and better
Absolutely.
great things.
Tim McManus at ESPN, writing for football, right?
Right.
McAlpin's down there with the Atlanta Braves organization.
Right.
And then Joe Yunus. I don't know where the hell he is, but he was one of our favorite guys because we could rip him and he would rip us back. And sometimes it almost came to throwing stuff at one another,
man.
except we were in different rooms.
And
I may have been that guy that threw something at somebody if he wasn't in the other room on the other side of the glass.
And usually the subject matter was the NBA.
Exactly right. And we love him to death. He is the and don't forget Tim Cates in L.A. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Peter Burns at the SEC Network and ESPN. I don't need to make a list.
Andrew Siciliano we had on.
I don't take credit for the success. But meanwhile, let's bring on the greatness himself, Joe Yunus. There's a Joe Yunus' remote on Twitter, not associated or affiliated, I believe.
I don't think so.
With the real Joe Yunus. What up, yo?
What up, Tone? Hair? What's going on, man? This just I just feel better, and my life has improved. Just talking to you guys today. I missed you guys. How's everything going?
Good, man. That's why we're here. We're here to make the country feel better, not to make the country feel worse. We're not here to divide. We're here to unite. Damn right,
exactly, man. Exactly right. So, I will say, a couple of years ago, though, there were a few headsets thrown, but we were in different rooms, though. That's the thing. And it was about the NBA because, my love for LeBron was just too much.
It was. I mean, it was overwhelming. You were sucking up to LeBron more than, let's see, who's the biggest LeBron suck-up in the country? Is Skip Bayless? Is he hate LeBron? I can't keep track. He hates LeBron.
Yeah.
Who's the biggest LeBron suck-up? Well, the guy who's not on the air, I know he was a big LeBron suck-up.
Right.
And then something went terribly, terribly, terribly wrong for him, unfortunately. But anyway, let's get it away. Not Brian Windhorst. No, that's a good one. Brian Windhorst, obviously, but he's in Cleveland, and that's where he followed LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And so his love, obviously, and he was drafted by Cleveland. So it's understandable if you were in Cleveland when LeBron was drafted by the Cavaliers, you're going to develop a relationship and love the guy. I don't have a problem with that.
No, he was. I remember playing the Thiago splitter, the block on Thiago splitter. Harry, I think you remember that like you were yesterday.
I've relived that moment probably 3 times this week alone.
Oh, man. Tony, but that is what made our show and your show was just awesome. I mean, I will say those were the best years of my life working at the station. And we had shows before the show. I mean,
right.
You guys remember we
and after.
And after.
Yeah.
The show never ended. Yes. We didn't leave anything in the locker room before the show or after the show or during the show, during the breaks.
But then our wonderful program director would barge into the room and say, "Enough with the drops! Enough with the drops!"
Yeah.
I mean, it was, but we just kept racking it, man. It was
exactly right.
It was great stuff, man. But Tom, I will say the show that you guys have now, and I listen pretty much every time I'm in the car. I get in, I watch you on Twitch, and I listen on SiriusXM. This is the best thing that's happened to radio in a long time, man.
Well, thank you, brother. I'm glad you got the email this morning and are reading from the prepared statement that we specially prepared to allow you to even be on the show at this level, Joe Yunus.
No, Mr. Robbins did send me a note, so I am reading from a prepared statement. We can't do it any other way. This is the only way we know how to do it. But I will say the one thing I miss the most about anything in radio is working with you two. Though you guys are awesome, and we're good friends. That's what we are for life. So,
absolutely.
But I'm with the morning call up here in the Valley now. So I know you said you don't know where I'm at, but I'm in Allentown, man.
I know you're in Allentown. I drove by there the other day when we were coming back from up in Hamburg. And I said, Joe Yunus, we went to a Redner's, and I was thinking of you in Allentown. We went to the Allentown Redner's looking for meat. We're looking for meats in there.
Right.
And they had some meat.
Love meat.
They had some meat. They had the meats.
But isn't it incredible? Joe gets hired in the newspaper industry.
Yep.
Everybody else is being let go. Joe gets hired by the newspaper industry. We get hired by the radio for Sirius during a time when there's no sports.
Exactly, man. That shows you how the cream rises, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you guys are the cream. But I'm doing pretty well up here. Now they have me doing some sort of, hopefully doing some sort of pick segment coming up in the football season. Now that we're having an NFL season, so I'm still doing the picks and everything like that. So
we need action, and everybody knows Joe Yunus had the action.
Oh man,
Harry Mays had the action. The Philly Godfather had the action, man. It's all about the action, man. By the way, the Joe Yunus's remote has just responded on Twitter. Do you follow the Joe Yunus remote?
Of course I do. That's a legendary account there, Tone.
He follows me. He's only got 23 followers, though. I don't understand it. He's following 23 people, and he's got 23 followers. So at least Joe Yunus's remote on Twitter is consistent. And he tweets, even though Joe threw me against the wall after losing a bet, I still admire the guy. So Joe Yunus's remote has chimed in with its take. It's a hot take, and he didn't suck, so you got to give him that.
That's true.
That's right. But what is life without action, though? I
know.
We have Bundesliga soccer. We got Premier League coming back on the 17th. There's people betting on Korean baseball. It's insane. But it has been a couple months where we're missing the action. We need it.
Well, now you still have the Godfather locks going, right?
Of course, yeah. GodfatherLocks.com. Been out of business for a couple months, though, with no picks. I'm getting emails from customers saying, where the hell's my picks? What do you want me to pick?
Yeah. Now, not to be confused, you are not affiliated in any way, shape, or form with the Philly Godfather, who's a friend of the show as well.
But we are good friends, though. He seems a great guy. Philly Godfather's a great guy. I've actually been in contact with him a bunch of times over the years. But no, not the same. Totally different.
The great Joe Yunus. So after we worked together in local radio, you stayed around in radio for a while until you turned to newspapers, right? You were doing a podcast, I believe, at one point. Are you still doing it?
I still am. Yeah, I still am. On the weekends, I do a Saturday and Sunday thing on my own. But like I said, as soon as I had left the radio world, the morning call was my next home. I've been doing it for about 4 years. So I've been working with the morning call, doing some great stuff up here in the valley. But radio lives in you, man. It's part of you. I would love to be back and doing it full force, but it is, just pushing money the best way we can at this point.
Now it's the across-the-board sportstalkshow.com, Tony. That's
across-the-board?
Sportstalkshow.com.
Not under the table? Not it's a stone-cold guaranteed lock?
No, and I don't talk wrestling like our good buddy Nick Hale back in the day. I don't do any of that, but I do give out picks. We talk sports. We do a lot of stuff during football season, so it's pretty good.
Are you following Muhlenberg football this fall? That's what people want to know on the Twitch stream. Garden.
No, but I think he's releasing an early one on the Lehigh Lafayette game already.
Awesome! Yeah. That's one of the greatest rivalries of all time.
Oh, that's a war up here, guys. I mean, it's a big rivalry.
Who do you like, Lehigh or Lafayette? I want an early. What's the early line on that game this year?
I think Lafayette's.
I would say Lafayette's a touchdown favorite, though.
Yeah, they have to be favorites.
We need early college football action, even in the small conferences. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Lay the 7.5. So take Lehigh. 7.5 for Lafayette. That's a good bet.
Now, is there an appetizer for Easton Red Rovers against Peaburg too? Because aren't they done around the same time?
That is a Thanksgiving classic up here
at Cottingham Stadium or something.
Yes.
Hey, don't forget Muhlenberg. Don't forget Moravian, Lehigh, Kutztown. I mean, come on. We need all the small colleges represented up there.
Kutztown and East Stroudsburg. That's a good
up in the
war,
ABE, baby, the Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton Metroplex.
That's right. You see, this is next level. This is what you guys bring to the table, the next level. Also, I'm reading this from a prepared statement. This is on the bottom part here. But take this next level with Tony and Harry. This is what it's about, man. You guys, the high school, college football, Lehigh Valley action is what this is.
Exactly right, man. And when we have that, you know what we hear.
What up?
What up, Eunices?
That's right. That is right.
So are you not giving out NASCAR picks because they finally finished that race last night? Happened to be watching a little bit of that. It was pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was. Now Chase Elliott was he got screwed over about 2 times in a row until he finally got one yesterday.
Right.
But no, I've been tuning into NASCAR. I did have Kevin Harvick on that first race the return to racing. What was that, last 10 days ago now, or 2 weeks ago now.
So
But
you are releasing locks in the Allentown Morning Call, even for NASCAR and Korean baseball?
Well, I'm not doing that for the morning call yet, but I'll be doing that in football season. See, the thing is, Tone, up here, they only care about football. That's the thing. I mean, I take you to the Bundesliga, the Premier League, all the other leagues out there with soccer. Nobody wants to hear it up here, man. It's not like Philadelphia. It's a great city.
You have to get it back to the Eagles, though, even though they don't practice up there in the Bethlehem area anymore.
Yes, it always comes back to the Eagles. So let's get back on track. Yeah.
Wait a minute, I have breaking news from the high-speed NBA wire, which should really wet your whistle, Joe Yunus.
Yes. Is this for real?
This is for real from Shams Charania. I always mess up his last name. He's legit. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and the league office have informed the Board of Governors that July 31st is the target date for the return of the season.
Wow.
This according to the Athletic NBA, and that's huge, huge news. So now at least the NBA has put down a date.
Okay.
Baseball, meanwhile, they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Hockey, we know what's going on. And now the NBA has put down July 31st.
Okay. As the return of the season, so does that imply that means they're finishing the regular season, or is the season the playoffs?
I have not seen the complete report, but that's the early reporting from Shams Charania at the Athletic NBA and Stadium.
Okay.
So that's good news. That is great news.
You know what that means, Tone? Another countdown clock will be put
Harry's
into
got
the
the
phone.
countdown clock on the phone.
July 31st, baby.
You have your countdown clock for the SpaceX launch Saturday afternoon, Harry? You got to have one for that. T-minus how many hours?
This is sports only, Tom.
Come on, Harry. That's important. They're going to try. Hopefully, they don't have another failure to launch on Saturday afternoon. Everybody's going to be watching that.
Wait, I'm taking the John Deere Classic countdown clock out
take
so I
that
can
off.
put this SpaceX in there.
That's right. Make sure you check off the John Deere Classic on your golf June 11th. June 11th, yeah.
Yeah.
No, the John Deere Classic is July 9th to 12th.
Oh, okay.
And that baby
is the Charles Schwab. The Charles Schwab is June 11th.
That's the first. That's the first. That's the return with no fans.
That's in less than 2 weeks.
That's in Fort Worth. That's July 11th to the 14th. My birthday weekend, coincidentally. You think that the PGA realized? Let's bring it back on Tony's birthday weekend. The greatness that is the Charles Schwab Classic.
Well, then that means you're going to have to take the clubs down to the lakes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And bust out, on the driving range or something, right?
I'll be let them babies eat. And let that big boy eat. You know what I'm saying? My big Mizuno. That sucker wants to eat, Harry, and all that other stupid stuff that they say. Any birthday sex that weekend? Well, hey, I don't know. There are probably odds on that. What do you think the odds will be on birthday sex on the weekend of June 3rd? When is it? What day is my birthday on this year? It's on a Saturday.
Oh,
now that's what I'm talking about.
Tony, you do keep reminding me that 10 years ago was the good old days. So, that birthday sex might have been the good old days.
Wow.
Hey, what it is what it is.
All right, the fourth floor stall checks in on Twitter, and he says, I got to say, I miss at Joe Yunus 15's ass around this place.
The fourth floor stall. And the Sports Brothers are saying, Yunus likes Lafayette. So he's already giving out the Lehigh Lafayette college lock way before we even are thinking about it. Even before the student athletes are allowed to go up there in Allentown and practice.
Yeah, hey, that Lafayette's definitely the better side. But Tom, I'm running some numbers here. Birthday.
You're running numbers too. I agree. Forget the Pennsylvania lottery. That thing's fixed, man.
The street numbers.
I want the street numbers back.
You're like a minus 460 for birthday sex on that weekend, man.
Minus 460.
Wow.
Happy favorite.
Is that good or bad? That's pretty good.
That's
I want
good.
to be like LeBron. I want to be like the old LeBron numbers when he was in Miami and Cleveland, minus 2,000. Remember when LeBron was always wherever he played,
right,
was minus 2,000 to just win outright on the money line.
The shoebox bet.
Or maybe the day Roy Halladay threw the perfect game against Miami was probably like minus 330 that day.
That was 10 years ago today.
That's
Did you know that, Joe Yunus?
Yes, I do remember that. And Tony, if you taught me anything, remember, don't bet baseball, but remember that.
Yes.
You taught me baseball.
Pete Rose taught me, and then I taught you. Pete told me never bet on baseball, even if you're betting on the home team and you can manipulate the bullpen and try to get yourself a winner because you can't win at dog racing and horse racing, because and highlight. I mean, Pete Rose is betting highlight, dog racing, horse racing, anything that moved he would bet on.
Right.
Damn right.
And then he wound up at the Caesars Mall on Saturdays and Sundays, the poor guy signing flat objects.
Exactly, right in front of these Forum Shops at Caesars in Las Vegas, baby. At the folding table in Las Vegas, man, when you're walking through the Forum Shops, Harry, there's Pete sitting out there.
I thought it was a joke, and then we
he
were
was
there, and he was really there.
He was there like every Saturday signing.
Joe Yunus signed stuff at Steel Stacks on the weekends, too.
By the way, is Steel Stacks open up there in Bethlehem, the great casino complex?
It's closed. Well, now it's because of the whole coronavirus nonsense. But no, it's closed. But it was open at one point. At one point. Hey, you know what? Shot up here, so no sports book at the Wind Creek though. They're behind the 8 ball, man.
Are you serious right now?
No, there's no sports book up at the Wind Creek. They do have one at the Mohegan Sun though. The great Lehigh Valley Downs. Oh. Off-track wagering.
Get Governor Wolf on the phone. I need to talk to him. He needs a good talking to.
Yeah, but hey, it's almost like perfect timing. The NBA is coming back on July 31st. How about that? That's big news, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. But we'll hear more details today, obviously.
Yeah.
But hopefully they do. And again, I don't know whether they're going to do what a lot of the teams don't want to do, which is come back and play a couple of games.
Right.
You know, well, the NHL, I give them credit, man. They played pretty much the similar number of games, both leagues, right?
Hey,
they got most of their season in. Why not just say, hey, all you people that didn't make it, goodbye, and then just take the 16 best teams, regardless of conference, and seed them 1 through 16, right?
That makes sense. But Joe Yunus is a big Damian Lillard fan. I'd love to get what's your take on what he said the other day?
You know, I'm a huge Damian Lillard fan. You know that, Harry.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that. I didn't like that comment, though. I mean, you got to play the game. So I mean, I know if you don't have a legit chance of making it, but you got to count for what they did to that point, though. Don't you guys agree? I mean, there was a season up until March 12th, whatever that date was.
Exactly.
So we can't throw that out the window. We can't just say that never happened. They didn't play themselves up into the top 8 at that point.
No, they're 9th right now, I think, right?
They're 9th. Yeah, they're 9th behind Memphis. Yeah, but. You can't forget that, right, Tone? I mean, you can't forget what happened the first how many months of the season.
And most importantly, you don't forget about Dre. I mean, come on, man. You understand that.
No, we can't
Never forget about Dre.
No.
That's lesson number 1 on this show.
Isn't it?
That's right.
Isn't it ironic that the news comes down about the return of the NBA and the date when we have Joe Yunus on the program?
It's like an omen.
Now, that's something.
It's an omen from the LeBron gods out there. All the LeBron worshipers today gathering around, putting their hands over the radio, saying, today's the day. Joe Yunus is coming on, Mr. NBA himself. Adam Silver calls Joe Yunus for advice on the association, Harry.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
I mean, we're talking numbers of epic proportions, Tone, before this all happened. We're 21-6 NBA run I was on. It's just another day at the office, as we say here.
A 21 documented 21-6 NBA run.
That's right.
Unfortunately,
and then the coronavirus happened, Tone. Then it put me screeching halt to the coronavirus.
It's an outrage,
now I'm
man.
rusty, man.
Can you get it back though? Can you now start getting ready for the return of the NBA on July 31st and like nothing ever happened, and then get right back and start firing and having the NBA knowledge that you've gleaned over many, many years of studying the fellas?
There's no doubt about it, Tony. Do you have any doubt? Do you have any doubt?
No, man. No, listen, I saw that in you as a young man when I used to have to yell at you, especially the one time when I said, this isn't the Joe Yunus show. Remember that one? That was the greatest day ever.
That might have been the greatest fight ever.
Do we have that on tape
somewhere?
I
got it. Do you
there
have that,
Joe? There are several
Joe?
people on the Twitch chat room that actually brought that up earlier. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite. And I didn't even get suspended or have to take a week off after yelling at you like that, Joe, because we kissed and made up afterwards.
Awesome. That was all. Listen, man. You know, it was all love, man. That was all love. Every time we had a disagreement, it was love.
I was laughing the entire time.
And by the way, I do have that rack, though. I have it saved and racked for you guys. I do have it somewhere in my house.
You have the tape?
Yes, I'll send it to you, Miss Robin. Absolutely. I have it.
Oh, we got to play that.
See, now that's something I think Jim from Cheltenham
Jim from Cheltenham has to have that.
Yes.
That's got to go in the classic reels, you know, it's like classic sports.
Agree.
That's as important as watching Derek Jeter for how many straight hours?
64, I think.
64 straight hours of Derek Jeter. Will you be watching that on the MLB Network this weekend, Eunice?
Kevin Cookie32 wants to know, though, yes, you might have yelled at him, but did you throw the headset?
No. Well, we couldn't. We had glass in between us.
Right. No, 64 hours of Jeter. Are you watching that, Joe?
Jeter.
Oh, absolutely, I'm watching it. Are you kidding me? Goodness gracious! I mean,
This just in, you can't rebet the games.
hey, that would make us a lot of money, man. You know that? I will say that I have that clip. I have it right in front of me. I have to email it over to you guys. I'll have to play it.
Can you play it down the line like Phil, our buddy, the official archivist?
Yeah, he just plays a tape deck.
Yeah. What's the matter with you, man?
That's next level.
You're
man.
a radio guy.
Man.
You were a former engineer, board op, producer, and you don't have the way to play one of the greatest tirades in sports radio history down the line.
Tone, you're giving me too much credit, man. I just play drops, bro. You're giving me way too much credit.
Even Joe C. now has the inclination to want to play drops on the show.
That's right, damn right. I was a drop machine, man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you had good timing with those drops. It's all about the timing. It really is.
Yeah,
exactly right.
All right, I got to ask you now, because when the NBA comes back and the NHL, there's not going to be home arenas to factor into the line. So how is that going to affect your handicapping when LeBron's, maybe playing Kawhi Leonard in front of nobody?
Well, you know what's crazy here, and I know you're a big soccer fan. You've seen the Bundesliga statistics. The home number gets thrown out. I mean, there's no fans. So at this point, it's going to be a challenge. That's why someone's asking if I can knock the rust off. It's going to be hard to fire it up because you know LeBron. There's certain players that get fed by the crowd, though.
Right.
There's a lot of star athletes that they feed off that energy. So how do you go on a 10-0 run in the NBA when you're down, 12 to make it a game again with no crowd? That's going to be tough.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch. You're absolutely right. And I know some of the soccer crowd, they're putting crowd noise in. And we had Joe Buck on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he said he wouldn't be surprised if the NFL adds some crowd noise. But I saw John Madden say, and we're going to try to get the coach on next week.
Oh, okay.
I saw him say in an interview with Freddie Godelli, who's the producer of Sunday Night Football, where John used to do the games, obviously, before retiring. And he said he doesn't think the NFL should put in fake crowd noise on national broadcast. So there's a lot of different opinions out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would be good with the crowd noise, though. I think in the NBA, all we're going to be hearing is the squeaking of the sneakers and some curse words, I think, that are flying out on the court, right? But it's kind of different. The NBA is going to be interesting to watch of all the leagues that are coming back.
Exactly right.
I mean,
I'm glad you saved that, though. Now, would you ever go back and listen to that day when you and I were having a spirited discussion about the National Basketball Association?
I would listen to it. Once I find this file, Tony, I'm going to play it on a loop every morning when I wake up to remind me how great that was. And I will say, if you threw a headset at me, there would be no hate, Tony, only love, man. I would take the suspension.
Hey,
I would take
see how I trained all these great young men who work with us and women.
Right.
Look at Robin. She's completely complicit and compliant, and she'll never, ever, ever give me any crap. That's what it's all about, because she respects me so much and she understands that I am teaching her to be a better human being and a better broadcaster and a better producer.
I would basically ask on the show what I had to do to get suspended.
Exactly.
I was begging to get suspended.
There were plenty of days Harry would walk in and say, "Why am I here?"
Yeah, I was like the dude. It's too hot outside. It's the middle of July. There's nothing going on. Let's get suspended.
You were dude, but you were not the bra, though.
No, not the bra.
We'll have a bra update later on this show. We're talking with the great Joe Yunus here. Tony and Harry, Miss Robin having fun on a Friday. This is awesome to talk to you, man. We go back. See, the one thing about all the people we work with, you can see we bring them all on the show. There's a love thing going on. There's none of this, I'm not going to talk to that guy. He's an asshole. None of that stuff goes on here. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's an honor to be on with you guys, man. Again, best time of my life was with the show, man. We had some great moments, and I can't forget the moments of our program director telling us, "You got to get back to the Eagles." Those drops that we had were legendary. I'm sure our listeners.
See, and the other thing is, like Joe tried to shield us from all that.
Yes.
Because the program director would go to Joe. He wouldn't come to us a lot of times.
He was afraid to come into the studio, so he'd go to poor Joe in the other room and try to tell him to tell us. We don't do no middleman stuff. I never deal with the middleman. You go right to the top, Harry. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And I could see Joe looking off to the right because Matt, who was the PD, never wanted to to let his body show, like in the window.
So he was like hiding.
So he's hiding in the corner. But then I can see Joe's eyes are looking over there the whole time, and I'm trying to get his attention. And that's when I knew. I'm like, yep, Higgins in there.
Exactly
Joe's
right.
getting yelled at.
We will get the audio of that. And, of course, Dean in Clearwater, who wishes he could be a good prognosticator like you are, Yunus, giving us crap normally on the Twitch stream, calling you a Philly hack.
Oh, you have haters out there, Tone. You know that.
Nah,
Comes
Dean's
with
just a pain in
territory,
the
man.
ass. He's just jealous. We got a break, man.
I know.
We could talk to Joe Yunus all day, man. Joe, it's great to talk to you, brother.
You need to come in studio sometime, Joe.
He's not allowed down here from Allentown. You know how much tolls he's going to raise the tolls on that turnpike? It'll cost him $20 just to come here.
No, I'm going to send you that link and that audio file. We'll rack it. And also, if you need any NBA picks once it's back, you can call me anytime. So.
There he is, at Joe Yunus 15 on Twitter, and, of course, GodfatherLocks.com.
Exactly.
There he is.
Beautiful. Thank you, brother. Love talking to you. Let's give him a roaring round of applause.
Yeah.
How great is Joe Yunus? Love that guy. Coming right back. 215-462-TONY. We got so many updates to get to also. Well, hopefully all get in before we open up the vodka, because it is a Friday, baby. Tito's Friday, baby. It's going to be awesome.
Now, did my now get in there?
We went to break.
Yeah,
we had to go to break there, right? Yeah. That's what I did, and then Robin started talking, but I didn't hear anything.
I thought we were shut off already.
No.
We have flexibility there, but
No. My speaking, I thought I heard the feed turn off, so I thought it was safe.
Oh, okay.
Josie's really good at that.
Joe put in like a 2 second. 2 seconds might be too long, actually.
I agree.
So like I
Yeah.
have time to pot it down and pot it back
Oh
up.
yeah, 2 seconds is long.
It's a long time, yeah.
How many kids does Joe have now?
I don't know.
2 maybe.
I thought it was more than that.
Yeah. Now, was he there when I left, Harry, or was he gone already?
Yeah, he was there. And then he was gone, I think, shortly thereafter.
Because he was doing DeBella's show, too,
yeah,
wasn't he?
Right. That's where he was. He was down with MGK.
But he was doing DeBella's show and then coming up and doing our show afterwards for 2 hours, right?
And then I think stayed on DeBella, and then they replaced him with oh, wow, what the hell is his name? What the heck was his name?
Yeah, I remember Joe Yunus talking about
Steve Vassilotti is who replaced Joe Yunus with DeBella.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Vass.
Well, Joe C. should know that. He was in the building.
Yeah.
Those guys, weren't you? Because Joe Yunus was doing, he was the board op for DeBella, and then he was only working part-time doing the 2 hours with us because he loved coming down and doing the show.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Joe saying that he had so much fun coming up to do the show with you guys. He would do it for free, he said. Which
not a good thing to say.
I know. He almost did do it
yeah,
for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Joe was the producer when I left in, I don't remember what year it was.
2014.
Was it 14?
Yeah. It was a World Cup year.
Jeff Bruno, 2 seconds is long. Tell my old lady that. Oh!
Dean is asking, who was your last producer of your last show?
It was Yunus.
No.
Well, my last show was when we were at the golf course out there near where Steve lived, right? From Preston and Steve, or was it Preston that lived out there?
It was Preston.
He lived on there. We were doing a show from a golf course out there in the suburbs.
I remember that day well.
And then, because I had to leave immediately and then drive down to the train station to take the train to New York to go do Oberman that same afternoon.
Was Eunice still there that time?
I thought Eunice was gone and it was somebody else that had taken over.
I think would it have been Andrew? No, it wasn't Andrew. He was still in college.
Maybe it was Eunice. Because when did Nick leave?
Geez, 2016 maybe.
I don't even know anymore. I can't.
Because Nick Hale was. He was already doing other stuff. And Tony left 97.5. He was let go from there in 2014. But Nick wasn't doing your show up until the end.
I can't even remember now.
It's so much coming and going. I can't keep track.
Diablo's 49. What's the worst blow-up you had on air, Tony?
The Mike Missinelli one at the end of that, because when I flew back from L.A. on the red eye,
Oh, yeah, that
remember
was
we
bad.
went down to Tony Luke's?
Yeah.
And I had done my show, and then we had to do the crossover. And so I was shot. I mean, I wanted to go home and sleep because I went right from L.A., right to Tony Luke's, went on the air.
We were doing a red eye, but we didn't get to sleep because there was some screaming kid.
Oh.
So we had no sleep. So we were.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Always have a lot of fun when we talk to our old friends, the great Joe Yunus, everybody we have on the show. You can tell there's a bond, Harry. There's no hate on this show.
No.
There's no place for hate here.
There's always been sort of a, you know how an overused word in sports now is culture.
Exactly.
We had a culture and still do on this show.
You're damn right.
Yeah.
Not the Culture Club. We'll be playing a block of them later on. Joe C., a big Culture Club fan, and also the solo career of Boy George.
He had a solo career?
Yeah, he was with Culture Club, and then he did his own things.
I didn't know he did his own songs. Wow.
Well, I had to give you one of these, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kind of lost touch with George.
I went nuts on Dean once on the air as a caller.
Oh, yes.
That we have that on tape.
I had that on
somewhere, too.
tape.
You know, but I knew Dean, so it wasn't like it was just a caller I didn't know and I went off on him.
Right.
I had enough of his stuff. You know, like when you'd have enough of somebody and you go off on them?
Right.
It's usually about once or twice a day.
Yeah.
Especially like on your phone when somebody texts you and asks you questions.
Yeah. Ask me questions that they can look up on the internet.
Exactly. They want to know, hey, what's going on? And then Phil, I'm like, hey.
Yeah. What am I, Google?
Exactly. I'd love to be Google. Then I wouldn't worry. I'd just have them call my phone and get the answers there and download it. Jesus.
Speaking of which, we are going to unsheath a new Tony Bruno Show option.
There's an option?
Yes.
Do you press 1, 2, or what do you do?
No, if somebody wants to call, but they don't want to be on the air and they want to leave a message that we can or cannot
A
play
sound-off line, maybe?
No way.
No, it's not called sound-off.
No,
I don't want to steal that.
Riled up?
Riled up. I love that.
Or
I'm
is it
so
going to-
riled
We'll
up.
get the Schwartz to call in.
Or maybe it'll be the jack-off line? I don't know.
No, we already have that a lot. That's open 24/7.
I don't know.
That's called Twitter.
Yeah.
We need to call it something. But if you would like to call and leave a message, and Ryan is going to be monitoring it so he can decide whether he wants to play something on the air or not. The phone number, unfortunately, I wasn't able to add it to the already.
Wait, so there's
the
a
bank.
separate phone
There
number?
is a separate phone number, and it is 856-818-4045. 856-818-4045.
Wait, I got to write that down. So that's a recorded line.
That is a recorded
No one operators are standing by. So
Nope.
you leave a message out. Is
just
that the
leave a
one with your
message.
lovely Miss Robbins'
It
voice?
is my lovely voice at the
So if
beginning.
you're lonely at like 2 in the morning and you want to get something off your chest, you just pick up the phone.
856-818-4045.
Correct.
Beautiful. See, you can now reach us 24/7.
Right.
And if you're a woman, we should have a separate option where you can hit like the star key or the pound key, and then we'll immediately have it transferred to my cell phone sitting by my bed late at night.
There
And
you
you'll
go.
be up.
Well, you're right.
After the phone call, you definitely be up.
I'll be in my 6th hour of REM sleep, and you'll
Wow.
still be awake trying to watch.
What time do you go to sleep at night, Harry?
9:30.
Oh, that's not-
9:30.
Wow.
Who are you, Angelo Cataldi?
It's nothing to watch. What is there to
What are you
watch? What am I
talking
supposed
about,
to
Aaron?
watch?
All the
The
good
cable news?
All the good stuff comes on later.
What good stuff?
Oh, okay. You have a point. And everything's on demand, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I do things on my time.
I was watching live rioting, not 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's a different line if you want to donate your car today. Let's go to Vince in South Philly because he's riled up today. You can't normally tell with Vince. He's a pretty laid-back guy, except when he's walking to the CVS where there was a shooting earlier this morning. Vince, were you walking by when there was a police sergeant shot this morning at the CVS here in South Philadelphia?
No, Tony, thank God. It was one of those, when I first saw the news, I'm thinking that was a classic there for the grace of God go I kind of moment there. That's where I usually get my meds and stuff.
Me too.
So I don't, Tony, that was a great, you made some great commentary there at the start of the show, too. You know what it is? It's just so Look, the guy committed murder, the cop. I mean, it's just one of those things where,
Absolutely.
like,
No one's denying. Anybody who denies that is an idiot, and they don't even have a voice in the conversation.
But the sad thing is now all of a sudden I read like other cities now they're looting and rioting.
Yeah.
What? That's so disrespectful of the guy's memory. I mean, that proves like all these anarchists, for lack of a better word, are just doing it to for whatever agenda they have. And
But there's a bunch of different agendas all here. It's not just one group. It's not just the people who are legitimately outraged who live in that community. It's a whole bunch of people who come on and they come in from other cities and they do their thing, whether it's politically motivated, whether they're paid. I don't know what's going on there. That's why we have investigators. But it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. And I just don't want to see. I'm glad here in Philly, of all places, we haven't had that. Thankfully, I mean, we
Knock
have
on wood if you're with me.
Yeah, we have our normal nightly shootings involving like quadruple shootings and 9-year-old kids getting shot where there's never anybody arrested. That stuff happens, and there should be outrage over that, but there isn't, and that's the thing. I'm outraged about anything that that involves lack of justice. I want justice for all, not just justice for some.
Tony, real quick, too, getting back on a lighter note, that was a great segment with Joe Yunus there. I think, it's funny, I think you could tap into the notion of, like, while all these other stations are playing, like, games from the past, you should have, like, programming where you, get in touch with all your former producers and everything else. I mean,
That's what we were doing for 2 months.
What have you been doing for the last 8 weeks, Vince?
No, but I thought there were a lot more. You were saying there's so many more.
We've gotten everybody on except Mark Willard, I think.
Yeah, no, we got to get Mark on. He's in San Francisco. I love Mark Willard. We've had Andrew Siciliano. We had McAlpin's on. Right. We had Tim McManus on.
Nick Kales.
Nick
Nick Kale, right.
From Nashville.
Now Yunus.
Now Joe Yunus is. We have all these people on. That just shows you these are people who are not technically our underlings, but they were the people who helped make our show go. They were the producers. We had fun with them. We loved them, and we still are friends with them to this day. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you there's a lot of people in this business, once they don't work with that person, there's zero communication. Zero. It's like, you're dead to me. And I don't have anybody who's dead to me.
Tony, unfortunately, our two so-called sports stations in town here, man, the last few weeks have been brutal. I mean, with the stuff they've been talking
and
about.
And that's just internal. I mean, that's just inside the organizations. And by the way, I want to give a shout-out to all my friends here, at CBS 3, which is the local CBS station, Harry.
Yeah.
And they're letting a lot of people go.
Oh, yeah,
NBC's doing it, and it's happening in all media.
Leslie Van Arsdale got let go, I believe.
A bunch of people.
Yeah.
And, that's the way the world is right now. People are getting rid of people to save money. There's no sports, so people are getting rid of sports people. They're getting rid of newspaper people. TV reporters are being cut. So that's the world we live in, and I don't celebrate anybody losing their jobs. Sad. Coming back, Bruce Arians joining us in the next hour. Stick around. Tony, Harry, Miss Robin. It's Friday and the Tito's, baby. We got a case, baby. We got a case of Tito's.
No, it's fine.
No, that was good.
Visicahama, they're saying.
Visicahama.
We can get him.
Yeah, we get Vile come on.
It just sucks we can't get Baldy on. That just pisses me
I know.
Why can't you get Baldy on?
He signed a deal with WIP.
That's what Ryan Raldinger called it?
Ryan who?
It said Ryan Raldinger.
Yeah. We used to do that at IP with Kurt Schilling when he was pitching for the Phillies.
He would call in as a fake name?
Yeah, because Bigby, our boss, did not want any athletes or didn't want guests. He just wanted phone calls. That was his philosophy. No guests, just take phone calls, and beats the same story to death every day. Bigby was brilliant because the phone callers were like records to him. He programmed as a music PD because he was a music PD, not a sports PD. So he would consider the callers records and keep them to like 2.5 minutes max, and it got to be the hits. If it's a bad caller, you dump him right away, and that's the way he and to his credit, I mean, he did a great job at WIP, converting it from a music station to a sports station.
What day do we want John LeClaire? Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday at 4:20? He can do.
Whichever one you want, we'll lock him in.
Let me hold a second. Let me look. Okay, so Tuesday the 2nd.
What is it?
I'm open any of those.
37? Okay.
Yeah.
Just so you have an idea.
I think
I
you guys
usually write
like
it down
having
because it's
that
been
first,
57 for the last 2 weeks.
You guys like having that first
Okay.
hour open. Why don't
Now
we
I
do
know.
either 4:20 or 5:20 and then?
He said 4:20.
Okay, perfect. Okay. 4:20. And I'm sorry. Name again? I was paying attention. Who was it?
John LeClaire. I'm going to go Tuesday.
Nice meat. Who had meat here? Oh, how is that night? This guy's got our buddy Al.
Yeah, click the picture.
Can Miss Robin?
Oh, I
book
just
me?
see the Tito's. Oh, there you go.
Nice meat.
That is some nice meat.
Tuesday, 4:20. So
Okay.
we'll just lock him in.
Locked him in.
Do people still have nicknames Meat? Remember, you always used to be like the big guy. Hey, Meat.
Well, meat was from Bull Durham.
Bull Durham, that's right.
I used to call him meat.
There was another meat. Porky's. Didn't Porky's
Yes,
have one?
that's
too?
why anyone that had
Yeah.
the nickname Meat, I would never ask them how they have it because of that movie.
Exactly.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
The Friday free-for-all. Tony and Harry having fun, as always. Covering the important stuff, breaking down all the important things. Great news from the NBA today. Looking forward to it. It's starting to happen, Harry. Can you feel it?
Yeah, I can.
It's starting to happen.
I can, and I think, Joe Yunus brought, we like to say, the good juju.
Exactly.
And Shams Charania puts out that.
As Joe Yunus is on the show, our former producer, the NBA news breaks.
It was Kismet.
Yes, because he's an NBA gambling
Wasn't that a musical,
savant.
Kismet? Was that a musical? I'm just kidding. And so as that's happening, the official NBA apologist of all time, I'm going to put him number one as the NBA's greatest apologist, Joe Yunus. And he loves the game, and he knows the game, and he can pick basketball as well as, if not better than most. That's how locked in he is to the NBA, Harry.
Right, and he was way more locked in on those picks than our show.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's what led to a lot of the blow-ups.
That's the meat and potatoes
right,
of it.
because he's in there looking at the Knights games and the numbers and all this stuff, and Tony's like wanting him to play something, and he's not paying attention.
Exactly.
I mean, you know how Tony yells at me if I don't pay attention.
I don't
I
yell.
can only imagine.
I don't yell. I just try to get you. It's hard to do. How am I supposed to do? Wave my hands?
We do that to you.
Wave my hands.
Yes.
Wave my hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands.
Sometimes he's so locked in.
Oh yeah.
I get
and
locked in.
I'm like, whoa, hello.
Yeah. I just sent you the audio.
We
from
have the
Joe
audio of the
Yunus.
Joe Yunus.
We've already got it.
Already
Yeah.
got it.
Oh, it's already locked
So
and
we
loaded.
can turn that around in
And
this
Dean,
segment.
by the
Wow.
way, he sent the audio of me going off on him on the air as a caller.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even run him. Maybe I did, because I don't run many people.
So what is there, a Jim from Clearwater down there that records this stuff?
I don't know. I think Jim had it.
The Dean one I put on YouTube because I did because he was like, he went from 0 to 60 so fast. He was like the Incredible Hulk. Like he was all happy, and then Dean said something, and Tony just went off. And
Dean's a friend, so
Yeah.
it's not like it was a caller I didn't know. I would never yell or disparage somebody who just called in I didn't know, unless they start cursing.
Oh yeah,
or
because
throwing-
when you know somebody, it's so much better.
Yeah, when you know, when you're a friend, it's easier to yell at your friends than it is at strangers.
Yeah.
Unless they're not wearing a mask, then you yell at strangers, and then you get into a throwdown with them on the street. That's how it is right now.
So did you want to play this really quick? Do we have time?
Oh, we
Should
got
we play
plenty of
that here?
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is important stuff. This just shows you the love that we have. Harry and I worked together a long time, and I've been fortunate to work with so many great people over the years and decades, and we always got along. I've never worked with anyone I didn't get along with. I can say that confidently. And considering how I've had more partners than the Kardashian family combined, Harry. I mean that's hard to do. By the way, we will have a Kylie Jenner update today.
Oh,
too.
yeah?
Oh, this is big news.
Speaking of which.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, here we go. So this is the Joe Yunus blow up segment.
So we were on the air. Harry and I are doing the show, And then Joe would chime in. Obviously, we talk NBA. And then I think Joe cut in. I don't remember how it went down, but I think Joe, because we gave him carte blanche. He could turn like Joe C.
Right.
Any of our board ops producers, they had carte blanche. If they wanted to say something on the show, we put them on. We didn't keep them in the other room locked down.
Oh, it was a great block, Tony.
So let's go to the tape. I don't remember the date.
I don't either.
But I remember it. When we hear it, we'll remember it vividly. And many of you will be hearing it for the first time.
And people are they already know. Somewhere or another, people have been listening to these over and over again because people are quoting lines prior to hearing it already.
Exactly.
Okay, here we
go. Let's go to the tape. And now we got something positive. We got a team in the playoffs. And I know some people don't like hockey. Screw them. This is about hockey. I don't give a crap about the NBA playoffs. The NBA, I ain't got no time for that crap right now.
Then don't talk about it.
I'm not.
Then don't talk about it.
I'm telling you right now, I ain't got no time for the NBA in this city, okay? I'm not. I didn't watch 1 second.
Good.
I'm all right with that.
I did the Ron Popeil Showtime Grill.
Mm-hmm.
I set it and forget it.
Good.
And I wake up the next morning.
Good.
Because this isn't about the NBA. The Sixers
Who's
and their
making
owner,
it about the
Joshua
NBA?
Harris, can go in his stinking penthouse and look at his crap Devil team sitting at home and look at his crap Sixer team sitting at home waiting for Sam Hinkie to work magic and fix this thing. We ain't got time for that crap now. It's about hockey in this town. It ain't about the NBA. So all you NBA honks, you can go sit there and watch TNT all night until the cows come home. I ain't watching 1 second of this crap.
That's not how it works.
Until the damn
That's
hockey
not how
season's
any
over.
of this works.
You want to watch that crap NBA 40-point blowout games? Go right ahead. God bless you.
Then don't watch.
I'm not.
Clippers -7.5.
Damn right. You can lock that in right there.
Boy, that's nothing like a 40-point game, too, when you know the team's going to win the game by double
listen,
digits.
you're talking about it, right?
Yeah, that's really
Yeah,
good. That's great for the league. That's great basketball.
Memphis
Let's
and
go out
Oklahoma
there-
City
Let's
was
go
great
out
for the
there
league.
and
That's
roll the
right.
ball out and lose by 40
Did you see
in a
Kevin
playoff
Durant
game.
hit that 3 falling out of bounds? Went to the free
But he
throw
lost, Harry. He lost.
Nothing gets people excited like watching a 1 a.m. 40-point blowout in a West Coast basketball game in Philadelphia where nobody gives a crap. Let's go to Will in Levittown. He wants to rip me now. How can somebody rip someone who lives and
Hold on a
bleeds
second.
Philadelphia sports?
Wait.
How can you rip me,
Hold on.
Will?
What a transition. I mean, that is just fantastic.
Come on, let's just listen, Harry. Just listen. I'm trying to remember this.
It's like he's up here and then let's go to it on the way.
Because there was a caller who wanted to rip me, and I put him right on. That's how
he
it works.
had no idea what he was getting himself into at that point.
Can
He
we
was just
resume
on
the
a
tape
whole-
already in progress?
Yes. Sorry. Harry and I had to comment.
That was great.
All right. Let's resume the call in progress.
Tony.
Yes.
How are you going to pick on the one blowout in the most amazing weekend of NBA basketball that I've seen in years?
Great. Go ahead and watch it. I don't tell you not to watch it.
It was a great weekend of NBA.
It was an outstanding, and it's
a great weekend for hockey, too. And we have hockey right now, and we don't have an NBA. We have a hugely successful 19-win team. Why don't we just replay all 19 Sixer wins? Would that make you happy, Will?
Piranha, you can only focus on one thing at a time. Can't I like the hockey and the basketball?
Yeah, you can like whatever you want.
That's what I don't understand.
You can
Why can't
I don't
you just
tell
like
people,
it both?
I don't have to. Right now, I'm in hockey mode. I do a local show. I'm not doing it. I'm not on ESPN. That's part of their 72 hours a day of NBA obsession. I don't work for ESPN's NBA coverage, okay? You want to watch NBA 24/7? Go right ahead, Will. I'm saying in Philadelphia right now, nobody gives a crap except gamblers and losers about the NBA. Gambling degenerates who are laying...
That's wrong. If you think it's only Flyers fans in Philadelphia, you need to get out of your mansion.
I'm not saying there's only Flyer fans. I'm saying the Sixers are insignificant until the draft lottery on May 20th. That's the next date on the calendar when the Sixers become relevant to talk about again. Until then, you tell me one thing we should be talking about the Sixers.
Wow, this is
or the
really
NBA
long.
in this town. Relax, Robin, relax.
Where'd he go?
You had enough.
Oh, okay.
You can watch NBA
So
Network.
I think one
you
thing,
can watch
'Cause I didn't run
24/7.
him.
one thing we all could agree: if you don't like it, don't talk about it, please.
That's my job. I'll talk about what I want.
No, you're not talking about the games. You're ripping a league that is huge. It's one of the big sports leagues in this country, whether you like it or not.
I'm talking
so stop
about.
talking about
I'm not doing a national show, Joe.
I don't care
I'm
what
doing
you're
a Philadelphia
doing.
show.
Okay, this is our show.
In Philadelphia
and you
right
should
now,
stop.
the Flyers are all that matters.
Good,
okay?
then talk about the Flyers. Stop ripping the NBA. Don't bring it up.
I just don't know how it has to come back to the NBA
It always
all
does.
the
It's
time. That's what I
ridiculous,
don't
man.
understand.
You want 24/7 NBA?
No,
You'll get it.
No.
No one's saying that.
It's almost like you have to. If you like one, you have to hate the other.
I don't hate the NBA.
And that's what I don't understand.
I don't hate the NBA.
Because I'm a
hate-
sports fan. I like
hate
a lot
the
of
hype.
sports.
I don't need somebody to tell me how great the playoffs are. I will when the Eastern Conference Finals crank up and it starts mattering.
Well, you might
okay?
just want to watch the West.
Ridiculous. This are the 76ers playing right now?
Tony, it's not about that, man.
No.
God.
Just don't bring it up. I think we all can agree. Just don't. If you're going to talk about it, but don't rip it all
I'll
the
bring
time.
up whatever I want to bring up.
Okay, hey. Then keep ripping it, and you're going to get.
Is that it?
No.
that's not it. What happened?
Nothing.
Because we're getting close to the.
We're
it's
getting
not
close
the
to
didn't
Joe
do
the
Yunus
explosive
show.
ending.
Yes.
The
I
thrilling
didn't-
conclusion. This is like a tease.
I didn't do anything.
This is like Game of Thrones watching 8 years and then seeing the worst ending in television history.
It just stopped.
It stopped.
It stopped on
froze.
its own.
How the hell did
Right
that?
there.
Did Joe just shut us? No, it's still on there,
It's
Robin.
still on there.
It's
Yeah,
4.5
I know, but
minutes. This is 4.5 minutes of radio gold.
Hold on, let me try to start it up again. It just
Is
stopped.
it buffering?
I don't know.
Buffering.
Ridiculous.
I could use a bufferin right about now after this. Do they still make bufferin? Remember that?
Yeah,
That was like
I do.
that was like Addison.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can't believe that
Bufferin.
they're gonna. It's gonna just stop.
That's unbelievable.
What the hell is going on back there?
How rude.
Jesus. Just before I blow up at Joe
I know.
Yunus, it stops.
Oh.
Did he cut that out intentionally,
No.
not wanting to hear that part of it?
No.
And now we got something positive.
Oh, wait, hold on a minute.
Yeah, let's fast forward. NBA
Degenerate
blowout.
gamblers.
I don't care if it's a playoff game or a regular. You're watching.
Here we go.
Then keep ripping it, and you're going to get a guy like Will
I don't
who tells
care.
you that it matters.
Will's a degenerate gambler.
No, that's not about gambling. Just go to the phones, man.
Yeah.
If you're sitting up at night and you're
And so
watching
what if it's not
a
if it's
40-point
about
NBA
degenerate
blowout,
gamblers?
I don't care if it's a playoff game or a regular. You're watching a 40-point blowout in any sport, then you got a problem. Then you obviously have a problem. You have the over or whatever.
Maybe you just can't go to sleep.
There's no
Maybe you have
reason to watch
insomnia.
that garbage. If there's a 7-0 hockey game, you think
Okay,
I'm watching
so
it to
last
the
night,
last
hold on,
minute?
let me tell you this. Last night, Dallas beat Anaheim 3-0. Big deal. Chicago beat St. Louis 2-0. Big deal. Their series suck in hockey, too. Don't give me that
You
stuff.
tell me one series that's
Yeah,
bad
those
other than
Dude, they
Tampa
stink
Bay.
too, man.
Those were blowouts. A 3-0 game in
Come
hockey is
on.
kind of a blowout.
There haven't been many blowouts in the hockey playoffs.
Dude, you give me Portland, Houston from this weekend, the Clippers and Warriors
Yeah,
on
a lot of
Saturday,
overtime games.
Grizzlies, Thunder last night. It's good. Just don't talk about it. Talk about the Phillies and the Flyers and all that other stuff.
I will rip
Exactly.
the NBA anytime I
Good
want.
for you. Do it, but not on this show anymore, man.
Why not? It's
'Cause
my
we're
show.
Sick of it.
Is it the Joe Yunus show or
No.
is it the Tony Bruno show?
I produce this
wanna
program, and we're sick of it.
You want to go do an NBA show? Get a podcast.
Maybe I will.
And then you can sit there and talk 24/7
Maybe I will.
NBA.
We're sick
Go
and
ahead.
tired of it, man.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
More people will agree with me than disagree.
No, you're
And that's
not.
what I appeal to, the majority of the audience, not the minority of the 5 people who agree with you. I'm talking to the real people out there, the people that understand this is about playoffs. This is about the playoffs. This is about now.
Get Mayor Nutter on the phone, will you please?
Get Mayor Nutter on the phone. I want to know what the hell's going on here.
What is going on? You know we're
back there?
sweeping through the top of the
Yes,
hour.
yes, we are.
And you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia. Broadcasting from the Xfinity Studios, only from Comcast.
Wow.
So I had to do the ID there,
That was
Don,
brilliant,
you know?
Harry. You can't teach
I
that.
think
I think the first hour's been a huge success so far today.
Yeah, I say we just re-rack it and run it again.
I think that my doorman down there at Dockside is going to be really happy with the show today.
If I had a doorman, he'd be happy with
I
it,
have
too.
a doorman. My doorman listens to the show all the time. They love it.
Yeah?
They don't call a 19-win hugely successful.
And that is it, folks.
You see how Joe didn't say one word after he blessed it? This isn't the Joe Yunus show.
Now, even though I was yelling at him, did you hear any hate there?
No.
There was no hate.
No.
Because we can laugh about that stuff.
Well,
it wasn't like I wanted to go in there and strangle him.
My cheeks hurt.
Although, I made a pretty emphatic and accurate statement. It wasn't the Joe Yunus show.
That's right.
What was inaccurate about that?
Nothing.
Although Joe had his own part. I mean, Joe could say whatever he wanted. We didn't muffle him. I didn't turn him off. I didn't say cut off his mic. I didn't go into the program director and say, you better shut him down. Never did that. It's always about people being able to do things. It's always a democracy on the show.
See, now, wouldn't you have loved to have one of these cameras in the PD's office while that was going on? Oh, my God.
Oh, absolutely.
That would have been awesome.
You talk about a Twitch stream.
Well, the fact that you know there was love, the fact that Yunus felt comfortable enough to say those types of things.
It was fun stuff. That's what people, that's kind of radio. It wasn't planned. It wasn't staged. It wasn't rigged. That's organic.
Just don't talk about it.
And let me say something else. Based on that, I need to up my game.
Oh, man.
Exactly right, man. And I didn't even throw anything at him.
Now we need the Tiago splitter audio.
We'll do that on the next holiday show.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we'll play back some of the great moments and some of the great tirades and outrages. People love that stuff, man. God, I love Joe Yunus, man. I wish I could hug him right now.
Oh.
We're coming right back. You know who's going to join us? Bruce Arians, Harry. We'll go down. Is he in Tampa right now?
I think so.
We'll find out. Let's go down to Tampa Bay, yo. We'll talk with the great head coach, Bruce Arians. That's coming up. Stick around, Tony and Harry. Yes, we're having fun, damn it.
Oy.
That was funny. Good. I haven't heard that since then because I didn't have it on tape. That was brilliant.
Got up your game, girl. Sorry. Didn't realize that.
I have to totally up my game.
I didn't realize how funny that. I didn't realize that quick transition I made too.
That was the funniest thing.
Let's go to the phones.
I think that might have been my favorite.
I'm trying to make a feed so it can actually have either program or audition. I can switch between them on there.
What do you want?
Well, I need you to put a new one on because this is wired backwards.
Okay. What's the number, Robin? Again, 267?
For the voicemail?
I could give you a face
No.
reverse.
Oh, for the
I'll just
215.
family?
Oh.
No, don't give it out.
I'll do it.
Sorry about that. I had to come down and christen the bucket.
We got the bucket.
We got the bucket, baby.
We'll have plenty of ice for that baby.
Yeah.
That
I'm glad
baby
you came
runs
down
deep.
because that way I can send you upstairs for the ice and everything rather than having to do it myself.
So I'm your gopher.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You have to pay.
Pat Gopher. Just call me Gopher.
Pay to be down here. Did you get it, Harry?
Yes.
That was funny. I don't even remember how awesome that was.
I have a computer that crashed that has tons of
See, that was during the process.
fanatic magic moments
that's
that
what
people
the
wouldn't
process
realize.
did to you.
Oh, yeah, the
Like,
process.
You were enraged
It
with the
broke
whole
me.
thing.
The process broke me.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. The process broke me.
It did.
Oh, it was great.
God, and he would still
You
talk
know what
about
this
it when
is?
he came home.
Oh, yeah.
And people
They only
on
had
Twitter,
one
he was
single
ripping
cable.
them.
Yeah.
Huh?
It came with crappy.
Oh, yeah, no, he was at the process. He was just incensed.
There was no bigger process hater than me.
And then the problem is that people would accuse him of hating the NBA, and he's like, I don't hate the NBA. I hate what they have done. He hated what happened to the game. He doesn't hate the game.
You need a different shell.
Ugh.
Well, and yeah,
Okay.
said so.
See, I'm here doing it with a purpose.
Process of success. 610. That's what they talk about now.
Robin?
Yes.
I'm now here with a purpose.
See, there you go.
Not a party with a purpose.
No, special purpose. Remember the jerk?
No. Oh, yeah. Party with a purpose is what, Robin?
That was the Playboy party that
No, but the
you
one
were
that-
hired to do.
That was one of them, but the big one is the NFL. What do you call it? The big party on Saturday nights at every Super Bowl.
The Taste of the NFL.
Taste of the NFL is a
That's
party with a purpose.
Party with a purpose.
Oh, he's on the phone. This is old Radio Shack if there ever was one.
Was it Bruce?
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
And the show never ends. Tony and Harry, even during the break, we got things going on in here, percolating. We got our big ice bucket. We're not doing the ice bucket challenge, although it's pretty humid out. But the great new ice bucket, Harry, you see that, baby?
Yes.
There will not be any like crappy little Miss Robin plastic 2-cup measuring cups, the plastic ones, and she does a lot of baking. We got some muffins today, too, some fresh pumpkin muffins Robin made today. Keto. Very good. And so we've been using her measuring cups to put ice in.
Right.
That doesn't even get us done for a couple drinks,
No,
not
I
even
know.
a round.
Because they melt.
Pat Canine, who usually retrieves the ice, usually has to go up for a second trip.
We got a big-ass ice bucket up there.
Right.
That baby's shiny.
That's bigger than the ones you get in the hotels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The ones in the hotels are garbage. That's legit.
And it has like the special sieve at the bottom so that as the ice does melt, even though it's
So
double insulated,
you're not sitting in
you're
water
not
and
sitting in
sticking
water.
together.
Yeah.
And it's got its own tongs, too. It's good, man. Ice, ice, baby is right, Big Bill Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, do we have the coach? Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Mays. I never really got to know Bruce Arians because I was in California when he was coaching the Temple Owls. As a Temple guy, I go back to name the legends back in the day. How far back you go in Temple now?
Well, I was there when Bruce's last year.
But way before that. Way
Wayne
back.
Harden.
Wayne Harden. That's where I went to Temple when Wayne Harden was
Yeah.
the coach. And I know Bruce Arians, who's the head coach now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he remembers the greats at Temple. He remembers Wayne Harden, don't you, Coach?
Oh, heck yeah, one of the greatest coaches of all time.
How you doing down there? Because obviously, and we appreciate you joining us, Tony and Harry. Harry's done Temple football, sideline stuff. I'm a Temple guy. So we love Temple, but we follow your career, and you've been killing it everywhere you go. Now you're in Tampa. Have you been able to see Tom Brady, your quarterback, working out with some of the guys? I mean, that's okay for him to go into a park now and do it because Florida's pretty much open, right?
Yeah, there's no problem with that. And obviously the coaches can't be with them, but I know what they're having a heck of a good time and getting better, getting prepared for the season.
Now, I know the commissioner I saw said that maybe next week you guys, at least the coaching staffs, might be able to get back to the facility. Is that right?
Yeah, we're hoping, got our fingers crossed that at least part of our staff will get in and the rest of the staff the following week.
Bruce Arians joining us now. You got some coaches talking. We saw Todd Bowles, another Temple guy, talking about the young defense down there. And obviously your offense looks spectacular right now. And I know you're a defensive coach, too, who loves the defense. How are you feeling about it? Todd Bowles, he seems to be pretty happy with the young guys and their progression.
Yeah, that was our number one focus coming out of last season was to keep our defense intact. Once we got Shaq, we franchised him, got JPP signed, got Sue back. That kept the front seven intact. And we got that young secondary that Todd's done a great job with. And another Temple out, Kevin Ross and Nick Rapone, another Temple coaches our secondary.
Yeah, that's right. Your front seven on defense returns. But I love that draft pick you guys got in the second round out of Minnesota, Antoine Winfield Jr.
Yeah, he's kind of a Tyron Matthew, Buda Baker guys that we had in the past that were extremely effective for us, and we're looking forward to getting our hands on him.
Now, you've been around the league, as we all know, but now you're a coach of a team that you really haven't been able to get together with, even though you see Tom and you see them guys are working out on their own. So how much does this set anybody back, especially you with a new organization, as far as getting together with your players? I mean, everybody's in the same boat, but what about going into a new situation?
I think the team building part, the guys getting to know each other, because there's new faces every year. And we'll have 15 to 20 new faces this year. So it's just getting to know each other, building that camaraderie, that accountability to each other that this time of the year we're missing.
When you got a quarterback and a player like Tom Brady with the resume that he has, I mean, everybody knows 6 times a Super Bowl champ, 3 times an MVP, 14 Pro Bowls. Do you have to coach a guy like that any differently, or how do you go about working with a player like that, given all the quarterbacks that you've worked with?
Yeah, he's a lot like Peyton. I call them piranhas. You can't give them enough information. Ben was the same way. Andrew Luck. I mean, all those guys. They want to win at all costs. They want to win. I mean, you can't give them enough information. You can't coach them hard enough. They love it.
Now, do you have an advantage as far as not just the team, because you're all in the same boat in the NFL, but the fact that Florida is one of the states that's allowing things to be open so that Tom Brady can actually spend time down there and go out and work out with some guys on his own in non-team activities? Does that help?
Oh, definitely. Just to get to know the guys, and sit around and shoot the crap with them, so that they can get to know each other off the field, because a lot of that's just as important as on the field. But to see the receivers running their routes and learning the terminology, and as Cam Blake said, it's kind of odd us teaching him our offense, but they're doing a great job with it.
Now, take us back to draft night, Coach, the first night, and you're obviously doing it in your own little, your own place, and you see the big man Tristan Wirfs still on the board. And how big were your eyes as he started to get closer and closer to your pick, and you said, hey, I'm going to jump up there one slot because I got to get this guy.
Oh, yeah, because we really thought the 49ers were going to take him, knowing Joe Staley was going to probably retire, and we weren't sure where they were heading. It all depended on Washington trading Trent Williams. So it was one of those nail biters down to the last 20 seconds. But we wanted to get him. We loved him, and he really fits what we do.
Tony and I were watching the video of him jumping out of the pool.
Yes.
I mean, how does that happen? This
For
guy's
a guy
a freak.
that size, I don't see little guys being able to do that. This is a big man, and he clearly jumps straight out of the pool and sticks the landing.
Yeah, I think shot put champ, and he's a wrestling champ, and he's a hell of an athlete.
Now, Bruce, obviously Tampa, the weather's great, and you've been around. You've coached all over the place, good weather, bad weather, domes, inside, outside, upside down, Temple on Broad Street, at the stadium. So you understand how it all works differently. But getting down there on the real grass and getting down there soon, does it give you any kind of extra edge because of the weather? Because it's going to be hot down there. That's the one thing. It's going to be hot and humid in Florida, so you'll have to deal with that.
Yeah, I think we'll have a normal training camp. I'm not sure about what kind of preseason we'll have. I think we'll have a normal training camp. Hopefully we'll get some extra reps because we'll be missing, 400 reps that we would have gotten normal spring practices. So it's a huge chunk to make up. But, being able to be outside, and this time of year, the guys that do live down there are all outside working out, getting acclimated to the heat.
How did the whole Tom Brady thing come together? Was this something that just sort of came together quickly, or was it, the wheels in motion for a little while?
No, we did our due diligence, and all the guys that were expected to possibly be in the free agency, we broke them all down. And, he was at the top of our list. And then when he decided to leave, we made the phone call, and he and I hit it off pretty good. And, started working on contracts, and he was interviewing me as hard as I was interviewing him.
Talking with Bruce Arians, head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tony and Harry with you on a Friday. All right, Coach, now everybody's talking about fans in the stands. I know that the officials here in the league office are saying, yes, we'd like to have maybe half, three-quarter filled. How important is that? Because we've been debating about soccer without fans. It sounds weird. Baseball without fans, if we ever see baseball. Hockey without fans. How important is it to have some fans, or does it not matter to the players at this juncture?
I think it matters, yeah. We feed off the fans. That's the excitement of the game, having the stadiums full. I don't know if we're going to have full stadiums, but I surely hope we have some and figure out how the heck we can do that, because the game's not the same without fans in the stands.
What has been the most difficult thing for you, through this whole quarantine?
And not getting to know the new guys, especially those rookies. We would have been with them for a month already, and still haven't seen them on campus. So, as soon as we can get those guys in there and get to know them a little bit better, put our hands on them, that's the part I'm missing.
People down in Tampa Bay already talking about driving around Raymond James yesterday, seeing all the new banners of the new players up. It's got to be a thrill because, as I mentioned, you've been around. Everybody knows this. You've been to different facilities, different coaches, different teams, and then you see all the new players in Raymond James Stadium, which will be the site of the Super Bowl next February.
Yeah, that's our goal, be the first one to play there. So, there's a ton of excitement in the Bay Area right now, and that's why I'm hoping the fans and we get something cleared up to where the fans can be a part of it.
Well, this is shaping up to be one of the best divisions in all of the NFL with the Saints. Now they got unceremoniously defeated in the wild card round last year, but they bring back a dynamic team. And Falcons always have a lot of talent, and the Panthers now with a totally new direction, new leaders on the field, and of course a new head coach and another former Temple guy, Matt Rule. Tell us about the division.
No, division is because they all have great quarterbacks. I love Teddy Bridgewater too, and I think, between Drew and Tom and Teddy and Matty, that might be the best division of all. So when you have a quarterback, you have a chance. New Orleans and Atlanta didn't have any turnover, so they're ready to go. We had a little bit of turnover. Obviously, Matty's had more turnover than anybody, so it's going to hurt them a little bit more. But everybody will be ready to play.
Tampa Bay Buccaneer head coach Bruce Arians joining us now. Bruce, we love your hat game, but we have a guy here who produces our show, who's really our boss, and he has more Kangol hats than anybody. He has like 300 of them, and he keeps getting them. How many do you have in your? No, thousands he has.
Yeah.
He has thousands of Kangol hats. How many do you have? And do you know how many you have?
I have about 30, but New Era makes my hats for me. So, they're officially NFL licensed products, so I can sell them to help our foundation to help children.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but now you have to, can you wear different colors, or do you have to have everything in Tampa Bay colors now?
I wear all kind of colors, but they make extra ones for me, and we put the foundation logo on it. But the Tampa Bay ones we sell in the team store.
I don't think our boss has ever been seen with the same Kangol twice.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, he wears his backwards, though. But
Yeah,
you
he
always
turns them around.
But you wear them both ways, right? You wear them backwards and forward.
Both ways. It all depends on the mood.
Yeah, what determines whether you wear the Kangol backwards or straight on?
Well, whether I'm drinking Crown or vodka.
Oh, there you go.
That's our guy.
See, we got the answer to the question that everybody else has been wondering about. By the way, speaking of Crown Royal, Frank Caliendo, who's a great friend for a long time, has incorporated you into his impersonations, and he has the Crown Royal thing. Does that bug you? Because some people don't like when they have impersonation, but I think he does a pretty good job with you.
Oh, Frank's a good friend. Yeah, he spoke to our team in Arizona one year, and that was his first time of getting me really good, and he's gotten it a lot better now. But yeah, it's an honor to be a part of Frank's deal.
Do you always have to have a bottle of Crown Royal behind you now? Is it like a sponsorship deal? Because if they're not paying you, and if they're not like saying that's our guy, you should be the face of Crown Royal in the NFL.
I'm not sure they're official sponsor yet. I have to check that out.
Forget about the team sponsor. How about you? It's like Bruce Arians. Whenever I'm having around and I have a bottle of vodka or a bottle of Crown, I'm going with the Crown.
Well, how many Zoom sessions have you done so far, and how sick of you are that? Like people checking out your office or wherever you're doing the Zoom from?
Yeah, we're not in the office. We're at the house, and I've been letting the assistant coaches do most of it because I get on there and there's too many people. I'm saving my message when we all finally get together, and the guys get tired of hearing me anyway.
Now, is that something that you sort of craft ahead of time, or is it something that just comes to you on the spot the first time you walk in that room when all the players are in there for the first time?
Yeah, I'm waiting for that moment and set the tempo for what we want to get done this year.
Bruce Arians breaking it down, getting ready. Are you chomping at the bit yet, or are you ready to go, or are you like let's 2 more weeks, I can wait? What's your mood?
No, I've been on go for 3 weeks. Just trying to find an answer when we can and what we can do, and let's get it done.
Let's get her done. I don't think they say that a lot in Tampa Bay area. I know, I've been there many, many times. Get her done. Now, do you have an official slogan? Because everybody looks for that slogan now. You're the coach. You got Tom Brady. What do you say?
Well, you always had no risk it, no biscuit.
Oh, no risk it, no biscuit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Are you going to keep that going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's us.
Oh, that's him.
You can do get her done as a side, as a secondary.
I think that's already taken.
Everybody, but that's not trademark. It's not like Tom Brady's jerseys that Dan Patrick was making, sweatshirt, T-shirts, and then of course Brady had to go after him, or his agent did.
Do you have that trademarked?
Yes.
There you go.
That's for our foundation.
Oh, that's great.
So if we did a T-shirt with that,
I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get sued. I'd love to help the foundation. I mean, we'll put some of those on our website and send you all the money. How about that for charity?
That would be awesome. That'd be great.
How can people get more information on the foundation?
AriansFamilyFoundation.com. And it's all about CASA, court appointed special advocates, and guardian ad litems for children in the foster care system.
Beautiful. Well, great stuff. We're all looking forward to the one thing we can all pretty much agree on, that of all the sports that have been really affected, and everybody's been affected, not just sports, but the NFL caught the break with the Super Bowl having been played, and then, of course, there was no Pro Bowl, which nobody really cared about.
Right.
But then you get to be able to figure out how to do the draft. You pulled off the draft digitally and virtually and everything else, and here we are now close enough when we now know that the people will be back in the facility in a matter of weeks, and we're probably going to see football with or without fans in the fall. Do you feel there's any way there won't be games in September on the schedule? Do you think we'll start on time?
I'm hoping. I got my fingers crossed we start on time, and as long as everybody stays safe, that's still the main thing.
And it's hard to stay safe in Tampa Bay even without the coronavirus. I can say that, especially doing Gasparilla and all the other great events down there.
I had to move out after a year, Tony.
You had to move out of Tampa?
I had to leave. I had to come back to PA.
Well, that's because you were living on Dale Mabry Boulevard.
Well,
you should have picked a better place.
Yeah, it's true.
Should have gone down to the beach, Harry. What's the matter with you, man? Bruce Arians, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Coach, always great to talk to you. Appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks so very much.
Thanks, guys. Have a great one.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put your hands together.
AriansFamilyFoundation.com.
Beautiful.
See, now we got to the bottom of the Crown Royal or the vodka and the Kangol hat.
See, those are the questions that a lot of media people are afraid to ask.
That's right.
But because we're a relaxed type of show, normally people would think that's a stupid question.
Right.
That's not a stupid question. I wanted to know how many Kangol hats he has. Krause has thousands, he says. How many thousand?
Krause has, I think the latest count was over 2,000.
Over 2,000 of those.
Because for the last...
He's worse than a woman with a shoe closet like
Seriously,
Robin.
That's like a
Melda Marcos
Melda Marcos, exactly.
Well, he gets however many Kangol puts out every year, he's on the automatic list. So
he's like I was on the Point of the Month Club when I would get all the videos sent to my house in L.A.
He's part of the Kangol of the Month Club.
I aspire to be you.
I'm not on the list. I got to get back on those mailing lists, Harry.
Yeah, I'll tell you
the product has not been flowing like it was back when I lived in Venice. I had product all the time, in and out of the house, in and out, in and out.
Hi, puppy.
Where's all my people out there? I need to have those those nice little boxes that were delivered.
Little brown boxes.
Little brown, little Amazon. You know the Amazon
little
smaller
square
boxes?
boxes.
You put some DVDs, because there's no more VHS tapes. I used to get the VHS, and then I got the DVDs, Harry. But DVDs, if they still want to sell it, they want to deliver it. I don't want to buy it.
And right now, that entire big box with your leftover ones that you kept and did not sell.
Do we have an update on the Robbins box?
No, it's not Robin's box. It's Tony's box. They are at Jack in the Back's in Jack in the Back's garage.
Now, has Jack been,
did he go to a doctor yesterday?
He
Because he got in an accident in case people missed the show yesterday.
Now, has he been rifling through all the because a lot of it's unopened, Harry. I got a lot of unopened product.
Right.
Now, as
safe
you know,
in the wrappers.
For anybody that knows Jack, he does not sit still well.
Yeah.
He's constantly doing stuff, but he now has to rest a little bit because of this accident.
Just grab a couple. I'll give you permission, Jack. You want to open up an old school one? You want some old, you name all the great stars, the Vivid Video stars. Feel free this weekend. You want to chill? Forget Netflix. There's nothing on there anymore. I've already watched all that crap. Just open up a nice DVD. Just peel that thing nicely. Take off the wrapper.
And it's good for you.
I hate taking off those wrappers, by the way.
No,
the
DVD
CDs and the DVDs.
No, the DVDs are easy. They don't have that crazy box.
The
they just
CDs were tough.
Yeah, the CDs you need like a butcher knife.
And then you had that tape over the top that would never
worst.
come off uniformly. It would always split.
Let's see at the pop the bottom. What would you call it? Hinge on the CD. And then peel it off that way.
Yeah, the CD.
I learned that watching it. I think it was The Wall or FYE when I got a CD there.
For Your Entertainment and The Wall.
That is great. Both are now defunct, of course, Harry. Yeah. All because of the Rona.
Oh, Jack in the Back is actually online. He says, "I'm good, thank you, waiting to get the kids." So I did speak to him this morning, and he gave me the lowdown. He was doing an investigation. For those of you who do not know, he's a private investigator, and he was going through an intersection in Philadelphia, and he heard the squealing of the tires of the car that went through a red light.
Oh, jeez.
And it T-boned him, and he knew he was going to be hit as soon as he heard the squealing of the tires. He pulled over thinking that who hit him was going to pull over as well. And then all of a sudden he heard squealing of the tires again, and the car just took off.
Did he get the
he needed to get the license plate as a good PI.
He tried. He thought the guy was going to be pulling over as well. And
he thought wrong. He's in Philadelphia. Hello.
And, but I mean, he was hurt.
Yeah.
So it took him a moment to get out of the car, and by the time he got out of the car, he actually took off after the car, hoping that he would be able to get the license plate, but it was too far away by then. And
I didn't see this in time, Tony, but the Philly Godfather tweeted.
Yes, I saw it.
Did you see this?
Yes, this is breaking news from the Phil. Not Joe Yunus, who's the Godfather.
No.
This is the Philly Godfather himself. Lock it in, Harry. He said, lock it in.
Yeah, at Philly Godfather. He says, I hope you guys let Bruce Arians know that I have them, meaning the Buccaneers, locked in at Arians Coach of the Year plus 1,600.
Arians Coach of the Year plus 1,600. I don't know if you can get that now, though.
I don't know, but the Buccaneers plus 5,000 to win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
And the Buccaneers plus 700 to win the division.
I'll tell you right now, I like all three of those plays. If I can get action down now, I would do it. But I don't think you can get those numbers
Probably
down.
not.
He probably got that earlier when they first come out.
Sure, before they got Brady
and all the other. That's why he's brilliant. That's why last year he had the 49ers.
He had the Niners, yeah.
You know, this man, this is why he's an expert. I trust him more than I trust Dr. Fauci or any of these other people who keep flipping every day. This man gives you consistent information. He doesn't tell you one thing one day and then another thing the next day. These are the true heroes of America.
That's right.
The Philly Godfathers of the world. The Joe Yunuses.
Now, did you watch any of the race last night? Chase Elliott,
No,
of
I
course,
didn't.
getting the win. It was much delayed. It got off to a delay. Like, they didn't even start it on time.
I
And then
completely forgot because we're down here till 8 o'clock working on the
Right.
show, wrapping it up, and then I go upstairs, have to eat dinner, and then by 9 o'clock I'm like brain dead. But I still don't go to bed.
I watched the last 30 so laps. It was awesome. Even without, the stands were empty and stuff. The way that they cover races with the cameras that they have and the sound, it was really cool.
Especially the one along the wall when they go by, and then you can hear like, even when there's crowds there, you
I
can't
know.
hear the crowd.
No.
That's the sound you want to hear. And if you've ever been to a live NASCAR race, either in the infield or you don't realize how fast they're going
idea.
and the sound and the power. The cars pretty much override the crowd noise. As important as the crowd is at these big facilities, auto racing is the sound and the speed itself when you're there live. And you're right, Harry.
You cannot appreciate it on TV at all, even though it sounds really cool on TV when you hear it.
But
when
Fox
you
does
are
a
there,
great job with this.
But when you are there in person and you are anywhere close to the track, that reverberation of the sound just like hitting you as the cars go by is amazing.
Exactly. Not Sam Elliott or Elliott Gould, as people are chiming in. Not Elliott from E.T. either. Harry.
No.
Exactly. We got to take a break. We're coming back. We're going to take calls next. 215-462-TONY. 215-462-8669. We got Jim from Cheltenham, the official archivist, coming up, Harry. I wonder what he'll rack for us on this Friday. And it's almost that time where the great Pat Kineen has to bring the brand new ice bucket. Probably rinse it out a little bit. You don't know what's in there. There could be some Rona in there. Rinse out the ice bucket. Fill that baby to the brim.
Yeah.
To the rim with Brim. Remember the coffee?
Yes, I do.
Fill it to the rim with Brim. That baby's going to be filled up. We're going to be rolling, baby, on a Friday. Tony and Harry, stick around. Phone calls are next.
God, my nose itches so bad.
There it is. The Philly Godfather just posted his tickets, Harry.
Yep.
Just posted his tickets. Documented. Documented.
Arians is cool.
Yeah. He's a little soft-spoken. I mean, he's not a yuck-it-up guy.
No.
That depends if it's Crown or vodka.
Yeah,
That's
that was
a great drop.
Cut that off.
Yeah.
You can use that.
I don't think most people will hear him speak like that.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Phone lines are open. Oh, phone lines are busy. Hey, that's what happens when everybody wants to call in. But if you can't get through, you can always call the voicemail line and leave a message,
That Brim, that was instant coffee.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Fill it to the rim with Brim.
You go to Europe, that's all they drink.
Really?
No,
all
they-
instant coffee. So
Oh.
I mean, unless you're in Italy.
What the hell are you talking about?
Every hotel I go in, everybody's walking around Europe.
That's
No.
disappointing.
Freeze-dried
That is so
coffee.
wrong. European coffee is fantastic.
Look, the coffee shops are great.
No.
But a lot of people serve instant coffee in Europe.
Not in the rest. What kind of two-bit?
No.
What kind of
bag
youth
hotel
hospitals?
Germany,
What kind of youth
Czechoslovakia.
hospitals
I
are you
know,
staying
seriously.
I don't stay in
Jesus,
youth hospitals.
Jack.
I stay in some of the best hotels
Dawa
in Europe.
Egberts, which is one of the main coffee makers in all of Europe.
Tampa Bay now down to
makes
plus
the
1,000.
most awesome coffee
We
ever.
opened U2 in Barcelona.
Uh-huh.
My hotel was nothing but freeze-dried coffee. I was like, you got to be
Well,
and it was
the Spanish aren't
top-notch.
known for their coffee, that's for sure. But the Dutch, the Belgians, the French,
Elliot Ness.
they have good coffee. Of course,
Elliot
England
Gould.
isn't known
All right,
for
what are
good
we coming
coffee
back
because
with?
they drink tea.
Thing in particular? Just phone calls?
Yeah.
I'm just writing down what we're doing. I think we'll do calls.
Yeah, let's go to the phones.
Boy, did I see an old shitty movie last night.
Here, Tony, can you hand me the
Remember Logan's Run?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't they redo that, too?
They did it. They redid
Did they really? You got to have the one with Michael York and
original-
Farrah Fawcett. And
That was like the 70s, right?
Yeah, it was 74. It was really
I feel like I'm presenting the trophy.
really hokey. Oh, there you go. We got to get that engraved. Whatever you're going to call this,
I know.
I'll pay for the engraving.
AJ had an idea, but I have no idea what it means. It didn't make any sense, AJ, if you're listening. You suggested a name for the ice bucket, and I was like, what? Here, what did he say?
I was using the Cheech Marin scene from
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
from Dusk Till Dawn. The one where you ever see Dusk Till Dusk Till Dawn? It's a greatest George Clooney movie ever. They're out there in the desert at the
that
strip
bar?
club.
Yeah.
The Titty Twister it's called. And they're all vampires in there.
Yeah.
And so Cheech Marin's outside. He's like, we got all kinds of pussy. We got white pussy. We got black pussy.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that? You've seen that scene.
What's it called?
Legendary, classic.
Yeah.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk Till
It's
Dawn.
always
I don't
on.
think
It's
I've
George Clooney. I mean, it's got a pretty amazing staff. Cast.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Oh, yes, indeed. We mentioned golf returning, Harry. June 11th with no fans at the Charles Schwab. Not the Howie Schwab.
No.
That will have fans later on this summer.
Stump the Schwab,
The
right?
great Howie Schwab,
Yeah.
friend of the show, another great former co-worker. But meanwhile, we got to get to, let's get back to the phones because the official archivist is on the line, Harry. You know he's got something locked and loaded. We played the Joe Yunus Classic today. I didn't realize we'll be going back in time, playing the oldies, playing the hits, going back into the vault, the moldy oldies, the golden classics. Let's go to Jim from Cheltenham to see what he's got racked up today. Jim, how are you, buddy?
How you doing, guys?
Now, a couple of big days today. A couple of big things happened today, especially here in local Philadelphia sports, right? You have Mike. Before there was the crying Jordan, there was the crying Michael Jack Schmidt back on this date. Do you remember that, Jim?
Oh, yes. That was in San Diego.
Exactly right. And it was May 28th, and you're thinking, wait a minute, that was at the beginning of the season. Now, almost at the not even at the halfway point. But that was pretty early in the season when he said, that's enough. I had it. But then, you know what else happened on this date? 10 years ago today, Jim.
Perfect game. I mean, perfect game against Miami.
Doc Holliday. I think they're going to replay that locally on TV. It's either that or they're going to replay the episode where a guy throws a headset at the other people, depending on what will get more ratings tonight. What do you think, Aaron? What gets bigger numbers?
I think Roy Halladay's perfect game.
Unless there's a rain delay, and then they'll play clips of the guy throwing headphones at somebody. All right, I'm sorry. Now, which tape do you have for us today, Jim?
Well, you're talking about Eunice was on earlier this show.
Yep.
And it was a game that Mr. James had his unbelievable block shot against this stiff, I forget his name.
Tiago Splitter? He's not a stiff.
And Eunice and Harry loved the blocking, and ESPN was playing it over and over and over, and you had just had enough of it.
This is classic.
Oh, we have that classic tape, too? Another LeBron NBA? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
I love this kind of going back in time, man.
If it wasn't for Dr. J saving the NBA, there would be no Michael Jordans or LeBron. And LeBron James even said it at the end of the documentary. No, obviously there'd be, but this guy influenced generations of kids. He influenced Michael Jordan, who influenced LeBron. Yeah. That's what greats do. It's like Eunice is like, Yeah, you know what he was excited about? The only thing that stained the documentary last night was on the bottom line scroll. They were talking about, don't forget to watch the LeBron block of Tiago Splitter again. That was a great block. It was a great block. But I don't need to see it a million times. Don't ditch the block. He's blocking Thiago Splitter. Thiago Splitter. He's not dunking over Magic Johnson and Michael Cooper and great players.
That's not LeBron's fault that
I know
Thiago
it's not.
Splitter.
But that's my point about what I don't like about the hype today. I don't care if you're dunking or blocking scrubs.
He's not a scrub.
When you're dunking and blocking Hall of Famers,
well, he's not a scrub.
It's like DeAndre Jordan, the dunk on DeAndre Jordan.
Hold on. Now, wait, take that back, because I just mentioned that Dr. J went up and under on Mark Landsberger,
but not just Mark
who was a scrub.
Yeah, Landsberger was a scrub. But
Right.
He didn't just go by.
What is that, a scrub?
He didn't go by just Mark Landesberger. He went by everybody on the Lakers.
Oh, okay.
He went by Magic Johnson. He went by legendary players. Not DeAndre Jordan or Thiago Splitter.
You're hating on the Brazilians now.
He plays a center. Yes, he is from Brazil. He's a center.
Yeah.
So is he not one of the great players in the game?
You have a shooting guard blocking a center.
That was an unbelievable play.
It was a great play, but do I need to have a scroll to tell me, make sure I watch it again? I've seen it enough.
There it is. That's the one that produced that great drop. I've seen it enough.
Send it in, Jerome.
Yes. I think they still play that drop over there.
They do. I've never had that one separated to play in my machine. I need that.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
I've seen it enough.
Oh, yeah.
Was that in heavy rotation after I left?
It was when Jason and I were on the air. I can tell you that.
That is great, Jim. I don't remember. Boy, this is good stuff.
Don't forget Sunday anniversary of the 76ers, their last championship, May 31st, 1983.
I was there.
4 straight against the Lakers.
Wow, I think that Thiago Splitter, wasn't that the finals with the Heat and the Spurs in like 2013?
You think I remember the dates of that stuff? I only remember significant dates. You think I'm going to remember when LeBron blocked Thiago Splitter? Seriously, come on, Harry. Come on, man.
Don't hate on the Brazilians.
I love the Brazilians. I have a Brazilian. I mean, why would I hate it? I even like British royalty. That's why Prince Albert is a friend of mine, too.
You don't have one of those, do you?
No, but I've been thinking about it, Harry. Nothing looks better as an old guy at a nudist camp with a
with a bull ring coming out of your stuff,
hanging down to his ankle.
That way, Robin could lead you around on a leash.
Hey, you can tend to wander when you get older. I'll be like Joe Biden. Maybe his wife has him on a leash too. You don't want to lose your senior citizens when they're out. I'm a senior citizen.
Well,
I want to make sure people know where I am as I age.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
And I can hang like a little ID tag off of there.
Yeah,
if
that's
lost,
exactly right.
please call.
Oh, man. Speaking of the Michael Jack Schmidt thing, we have the tape. We have it locked and loaded.
Oh, we do?
I'm glad you brought up the Thiago Splitter because I thought you were going to bring up the perfect game. But you don't remember happened? Michael Jack. I every time I hear this, though, I want to break down and cry.
Yeah, May 29th, 1989, Tony.
Let's go to the tape. Here it is right now.
With 2 very bad knees. In a dream to become a Major League Baseball player. I thank God that the dream came true.
I missed the very beginning of that, though. Let me hear the beginning of it.
Some 18 years ago, I left Dayton, Ohio, with 2 very bad knees. In a dream to become a Major League Baseball player. I thank God that the dream came true.
There you have it.
Wow.
Michael, the original crying Mike. The original crying Schmidt face, so to speak.
548 home runs, Tony. 12-time All-Star. 3-time NL MVP. And, of course, the World Series MVP in 1980.
Yep. And I remember when he was a rookie here, and he was struggling at third base, and people booed him. People were booing Mike Schmidt. I know it's hard to believe people booing anybody in Philadelphia. People booed him and didn't think he was any good.
Oh, he had a very tumultuous relationship with the fan base here
because he was such a cool customer. And you remember this, Jim. He was such a cool customer that he made it look easy.
Mm-hmm.
And in Philly, when you make it look so easy, people think of that as he's not really busting it. He's not really into it. That's how great he was.
He was just that good.
He was cool. You know, they told Joe Montana's Joe Cool,
right?
Because he didn't make it. You don't want to see it. You never want somebody to see you sweat,
right?
That's what Joe Montana was at quarterback. Joe Cool. Mike Schmidt was cool at third base. One of the all-time. He's on the Mount Rushmore of the greatest third baseman of all time. Is he not, Jim? Oh, we lost Jim.
Yeah.
Is he on your Mount Rushmore of the greatest third baseman in baseball history?
Of course. Now, maybe I'm a bit biased, but, I mean, his numbers back it up.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have There's No Crying in Baseball drop from Tom Hanks. But let's go to Jack. Is this Jack in the back? Jack? Hello? Where'd he go? Was that our own Jack in the back? I hope he didn't get into another accident. It's dangerous. It's a weekend here, Harry.
Seriously.
You got to be careful if you're
He's
driving
already
around.
Compromised.
Tell me about
driving around here in the city of Philadelphia. You know what I mean?
They shut down Interstate 76 right in the middle of the city. They shut it down.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
On my way down here.
Is that for
construction?
Yeah, they're doing construction work, which is good.
Because at this point, we don't know.
But I mean,
could be something going on.
They don't shut it down just for one lane. They shut the whole thing down.
Yeah.
By the way, the big story in Minneapolis today, we told you about the arrest of the police officer, the former, but the mayor now has imposed a mandatory nighttime curfew for Minneapolis this entire weekend from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Wow.
So hopefully the people will be calm now that the cop has been arrested, the thug cop who killed a man, an innocent victim. And so now the mayor acts again after the fact. Hopefully people calm down. And if there are people out there breaking the curfew this weekend between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. Friday, Saturday nights, they should be arrested. You can't have the cops hiding from people. Am I right, Har?
No, you're right.
If you're breaking a curfew and the people have been protesting and that's their right, but if they're out there acting crazy, now that the cop's been arrested and hopefully will be brought to justice soon, you should be arrested.
I mean, if you're out there breaking a curfew, given what's going on there, you're kind of looking for trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. Let's get. We're gonna. Can we get? We don't have enough time. I don't want to cut him short. We got to go to Arizona when we come back, Harry, in the next hour.
All right.
The ice is being dispensed now from the fresh ice machine upstairs. We've got fresh Tito's to pour, Harry.
Yep.
No Crown Royal though.
And we got one open line.
And we have one open line. 215-462-TONY. And lots to get to, including Rob Parker from Fox Sports 1 joining us in the next hour. Not happy about the Tom Brady documentary coming up in 2021. I mean, I haven't even started thinking about putting this together yet. And there's already some outrage, Harry. And Rob Parker is outraged, and he'll join us next in the next hour. Plus, we'll have skate bras telling Governor Newsom to pound sand at Venice Beach, brah. We'll have that update. I wonder if Silk Bra will chime in next hour. This is a story that should be really right up his alley.
This affects him deeply.
He's a SoCal bra.
Yeah.
He's Silk Bra. And you got bras out there now saying, brah, get the damn sand out of my damn skateboard park on Venice Beach. I was there when they were building that sucker. It was awesome, man. And I couldn't even do that skateboarding stuff, Harry. I would just go down there and watch the bras.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, bro? And then I'd rip out the bong.
Yeah, you have to smoke
Yeah,
to watch
I didn't
the
even
bras.
smoke weed, but I would sit back. Actually, I just had to sit there and get a contact high.
No, your favorite was doing the bongos.
Exactly right. Stick around. We're coming right back.
They have like a drum circle
Oh,
there.
every afternoon.
Every
yeah.
afternoon.
Every afternoon, like 5, right around sunset. All the bras out there with the drum circles, the hippies.
This guy Joey Gallagher goes, please do 10-hour shows. This is radio gold. I haven't heard enough.
I have heard enough.
Yeah.
We're going to be coming back a little earlier. Okay. A few seconds early.
You said 37. That's when I broke, man.
No, I know, but that was my fault.
God damn it. Come on, Ryan. You're killing me, man. You're killing me.
Is that still okay, or do we have more? We have fresh.
I have little bottles of it in that back room.
Yeah, it's in the back room, and they're in the smaller bottles. Look towards the ground.
How much time do we have? I'll go back and look. I have a whole case of those. They're ocean spray. They're not keto friendly. We have the cups?
There's a bunch of people saying, there might be this opening on a certain radio station in Philadelphia that happens to coincide with this time. I was like, how would that work? Yes, the I Am Pissed Off Harry Mays T-shirt is in the house. It's in.
It is?
It's on. Hold on. I will show you. I believe it's up now. I want to. Let me make sure I didn't speak to some.
TonyBrunoShow.com.
TonyBrunoShow.com/shop. Yes, it's there. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, with the Philly P. Yeah.
So, and that is Harry's signature T-shirt. I am pissed off with a Philly P. Let me show it to everybody.
30 seconds. 40 seconds.
Ta-dam. So if you go to TonyBrunoShow.com/shop, you will see this shirt as well as the other one that is available is the Make Mondays Great Again Tony Bruno with a little microphone.
Nice. I got an email back from Arians. He goes, thanks, guys, with a thumbs up and a glass of bourbon emoji.
That's awesome. So these are all the different shirts that are available there now. So, Tony, it's coming back.
All right.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show.
We are back, Tony, Harry, the whole gang. I don't know what's going on back there, Harry. But what is the line I use? I don't even remember that line. The outrage line from the Joe Yunus call we played last hour on the show.
Well, it's not the Joe Yunus show.
No,
the one with Thiago Splitter.
Oh, I've seen it enough.
Okay, yeah, well, I got to get that one.
Yeah.
I don't have that in my system. How do I not have that in my system?
I got to see if I can get that for you.
Now, we do have I have a different one. This is no sugar added. So whatever one has because we need the dropper because it is our final hour. Is that one low sugar? How many carbs in there? Robin, can you look at the carbs?
Yes.
Because we are going to do our Cheetos and cranberry traditional final hour of the week. 11 or 12. Go with the 11. We're going to go with 11 grams of carbs, but we're just going to use an eyedropper, right, Harry?
Yes.
We have the ice. Ice, baby.
I'll have to go get the eyedropper for Harry. But, Tony, remind everybody, please, that
yes,
new
the Tony Bruno store is open at TonyBrunoShow.com, Harry.
Yeah, and we got some new items in there, apparently.
Yes.
We got quality T-shirt action, yo.
There is the
new Harry Mays signature.
Well, first there's the another Tony signature shirt.
Make Mondays great again. Of course, Mr. Monday Night started that back in the 70s, so it's not a new political slogan.
No,
Make Mondays great because of Mr. Monday Night.
And then, of course, we have the first Harry Mays signature shirt, which is I Am Pissed Off in the Philly P and Harry Mays' signature underneath.
Exactly right.
Very
beautiful. Good. And don't loot the Tony Bruno store if you are unhappy.
No.
You can't.
Don't break anything.
Don't break anything if you're trying to get into the Tony Bruno store.
Don't burn anything.
You can't get a hammer and try to break into our cash register.
Right.
You just go online. It's safe. It's clean. It's all good, baby.
Now, do we accept like Venmo and PayPal and all that?
I don't know. It's all handled through the store.
I don't think I'm taking. I don't have. It's like when you go into a taxi, the driver has no cash on him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You see that everywhere. There's no change. There's no cash here.
Okay.
No cash transactions, Harry. It's all done electronically now.
All right. I'm efforting the I've seen it enough audio.
Okay, we got to get that in the system.
Yeah.
I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't even. I remember it now, but I don't remember that. Me saying that.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know what I mean?
It was one of our favorites. And you know what it's really reminiscent of? It's kind of reminiscent of the Radnich drop. Like, who does that? Who has time?
I
it's
have
like
the Radnich
has
in
that
here.
same vitriol.
I have it right here. Like,
Who does that? Who has time?
exactly. And everybody who's ever been on the radio in any format or any station and any network, you have that one every once in a while. You don't plan outrages.
No, that's one thing. It was never planned.
Exactly.
Whenever it happened, at least with us, I know
Rants
that.
are not planned.
No,
it depends on the mood.
Thank
you know what I'm saying? We do need to get some Tony Bruno masks in the room, though. Because now that masks will be worn forevermore, not just through the pandemic, we will never be allowed to go out again, Harry, without a mask.
I have not worn a mask except once to go into the drugstore. And
am I supposed to shame you? I'm sorry.
No, and the other time was to get out of the car to meet Ed and get the product put in the back of my truck and then give him the tip. That was it.
Beautiful.
Is that good or bad?
Well, it depends on who you talk to, Harry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We test ourselves every day. We have our thermometer. Everybody, once again, under 99 degrees. Harry's 97.5.
Yeah, it was legitimately.
Ryan Rothstein was 97.5, which means something bad could happen. You know, that's not a good temperature right now. The temperature is actually way above 97.5 at some local radio stations. But, hey, that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. Meanwhile, yes, nothing like finishing off a great week of radio with a pipette of cranberry. What's a pipette?
Is that what this?
It's on.
Yeah,
that's a pipette.
Yeah, that's what they
pipette,
call it.
Not pipetto, not Geppetto. Of course, the great. No, that was who was the Italian mouse that used to go on Ed Sullivan? Peppino, the Italian mouse. Remember? I'm old. I am old. Meanwhile, let's get it back to what we were doing, Harry.
Okay. What were we doing?
We're going out to Arizona.
Okay.
We talked to Bruce Arians, who used to be in Arizona, and he's in Tampa now. But let's go to the Penguin in Arizona. And first the question is, why are you the Penguin, my friend?
Hey, Tony. Hey, Harry. Hey, Miss Robin.
Penguin.
Hello, everybody on the Twitch stream.
What's up, man?
They call me the Penguin because of the way I walk. An old co-worker before I met Play Action Reel, started working with him. They would call me the Penguin, so it's always stuck to me.
Now, which Penguin was your favorite in all the Batman movies? I'm a Burgess Meredith guy, but that was
Well,
the
that's
TV
the original show, yeah.
Remember on the TV original show, he was the Penguin and he had the little cigar.
He was great. Danny DeVito was the Penguin,
Yeah,
too.
but
wasn't
I
he?
think
One of them?
Burgess Meredith, with all due respect to all the movie versions, Burgess Meredith to me will always be not just the Rocky trainer, but the Penguin in Batman.
DeVito was too dark. Like he wasn't. There was nothing likable.
But wasn't
about
that whole movie really dark?
Yeah, that's when Batman went dark. I
Yeah.
went dark way before Batman. But I mean, I've been traveling around and I understand and I appreciate all
Good.
things. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Penguin?
Yeah. So, funny thing, and Play Action Reel is going to get a laugh out of this. I don't watch movies. He talks to me about watching movies all the time, asking if I know what movie this is, what movie that is, who was in this movie, who was in that movie. So I might need to get one of those, Tony.
I have to give you, but no, you don't have to watch. No, there's no law that says you have to watch it. I have every cable channel imaginable and Netflix, and it's hard for me to find one thing that I want to watch every night. Seriously, the more content there is, the harder it is for me to find something that I want to watch.
There's almost too much content for you.
And again, there's so many movies, and none of them interest me. Now, maybe that's my fault, but I don't want to watch any of this crap. I look at what it is, and I'm like, no, get out. I'll put on. I was watching a show last night with a guy from London who was spending 60 days. It was like Naked and Afraid, except it's a British dude who's on an island somewhere, Fiji, I think, and he has nothing. He doesn't have a knife. He doesn't have any way to make fire. He doesn't have any way to eat food. He just has a medicine kit. I'm watching this guy eating snails to try to stay alive and trying to find a water source. That stuff fascinates me more than watching a stupid movie.
Yeah, that's why you were falling asleep
Wow.
in front of the TV.
No, that stuff's good, man.
I think this is more about you.
Oh, of course
Thank
it's about
you.
me.
Of course it's about him.
And then later on, I was watching people cook stuff in the streets of Minneapolis. They were cooking their snails. Yes, what's going on, man? I'm sorry.
I'm just opening up a can of water around here since it's about 110 in Gilbert, Arizona.
Oh, man. A can of water? Oh, I can hear that can of water open up there.
I call it water, but it's beer.
Now, what's the brew of choice on a hot afternoon in Arizona?
Well, Tony, you got to stick to the brew of choice that's sold at Lambeau Field. Miller Lite, baby.
Miller Lite, baby. The original
That's right.
light beer. Light beer, because remember, Light was the very first beer from Miller Lite. They didn't even call it Miller Lite. It just said Light, L-I-T-E.
They had the greatest commercials.
That's right.
And the greatest one of all, I was on the internet the other day. It's one. They had John Madden. They had all these. I mean, the cast of that original Miller Lite when in the
Bubba
bowling
Smith,
alley.
was it?
In the bowling
Yeah,
alley.
yeah.
That is the greatest beer commercial of all time.
Art Donovan.
Yeah, imagine trying to pit all the superstars of sports right now in one commercial. They wouldn't be able to do it. That was look it up. Miller Lite commercial, bowling alley. You had everybody who was anybody is in that spot. It's brilliant. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll have to look that up. But thanks for taking my call. Real quick before I get off the phone, sports story. Being originally from California, I'm a Laker fan, obviously. So I started listening to Dan Patrick after Jeff, Play Action Reel, told me about it. Then I started listening to you when sports died. Not when music died, by the way, yo.
No,
But-
the day the music died, I was around for that, and we just said bye-bye, Miss America Pie. But I did drive my Chevy to the levee, but the damn levee was dry. That's what happened.
That's right. That's right, Tony. That's right. So, on one of the shows that Dan Patrick had on, they were talking about Lou Alcindor. I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, who the heck is Lou Alcindor? Who the heck is Lou Alcindor?
Wait a minute, you didn't know who Lou Alcindor was? And you're a Laker
you gotta
fan?
give
I
him
got to
one.
give you one of these, man. I'm sorry. I got to give. I love you, man, but I got to give you one of those.
So I finally go up to Jeff, and he has the same reaction. He's like, what? You don't know who he is being a Laker fan? I'm like, no, I don't.
Wow.
I go look it up. Well, it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And, like, you can't be switching names on me, man. Like, you know?
Wow,
you can't
man.
be from Ron Artest to Metal World Peace to back to, I don't know, whatever.
You know, on
But
other shows,
anyway,
they would have run you on other shows from now with that
Yeah,
kind of
get
bad
out.
knowledge,
Get
man.
out.
But get out.
Wow. It's like, what is it, Chris Jackson to Mahmoud
Abdul
Rauf? Yeah.
Thanks for taking my call, Tony. Thanks for everybody making it a great show.
Well, thank you.
Robin
Be
and Harry.
cool. Try to stay cool out there, man. Try to stay
All right,
cool.
if Jordan Love shreds the Eagles, you guys are coming down here to Los Abrigados, have some drinks.
Oh,
and Harry,
man.
don't forget your bag.
Yeah, we're coming out there, man.
I don't go anywhere without it.
I'm going to the high desert where it's cool in the summer, baby. It's
There
only
you
like
go.
Have a
90.
great weekend.
All right, you too, man. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together. See, we gave him a bump to bump.
Right.
Yeah, I should have asked him. A.J. Marcos and Ice Rink says, does he know who Cassius Clay is at least?
But this is similar to the Rome show. Like, he comes on here calling out other guys on the Twitch stream.
Yes.
You know, it's like clone on clone crime.
No, but he's one of the great people. And you can go into the Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/Tony Bruno Show. Doesn't cost you anything to go in there. Download the app. You can watch the show every day. You can be in the chat room. Follow the show. It doesn't cost you anything. Just follow. And then you can go back and forth with all the people in the Twitch stream, Harry. That's what's great about it.
There's
you know what I'm saying?
conversations within
Oh,
conversations.
I know. They get in battles.
Oh, yeah.
Like inner battles.
Yeah. And then it has nothing to do with what
No.
we're talking about sometimes.
There's
It's
like
awesome.
reckless name calling and
Yeah.
finger pointing in there, just
No,
like real
no.
America.
No, I make them behave for the most part. If I see something really going down, I'll be like, you know, the teacher, those, hey, boys and girls, behave now. And then I threaten them with blocking them for temporarily.
Beautiful. Let's go to Jack. Jack, is that Jack in the back? Or is that another Jack?
Yes, sir.
Is this Jack?
No, it's me.
Jack, what the hell's wrong? What happened to you, man? Where are you right now? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing the double-decker bridge on 95 heading north, coming up on the stadiums. Yesterday was one heck of a day. I was having a great day, just doing my thing, and next thing I know, I hear tires screeching. I look to my right, and there's a guy coming at me. I'm going to say that basing on my experience, I'd say he's probably doing about 55 when he came from the right side, broadside of my truck.
And he ran the red. He ran a red light, right? Yeah.
I immediately get out of my truck, and me and a couple of neighbors get out because he's hightailing it out of there, and I couldn't get a tag. So as I get maybe like 2 blocks down, I realize my keys and my door of my truck are open, and it's running. And I'm like thinking like,
Somebody going to jump in and drive it away and make it a really happy ending, yeah.
So yeah, it was. And then the weirdest thing is, I'm not sure if you've ever been in something like this, but I'd say close to 3 hours later, I got home and I began to get stiff and sore and really like a lot of pain. It was like it kind of hit me afterwards, and I'm
Whiplash,
still feeling
man.
it today.
It's an outrage. You got to stay out of the city, man. You got to stay out of the bushes and stay out of the city. Stay out the bushes, most importantly.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's funny because last summer I was on a case and I got shot at. So it's like maybe I might be thinking to change the line of work here. I don't know, maybe like a florist or something. I don't know.
Weren't you shot at right in my neighborhood, not too far from here?
No, that was in Kensington last year when I got shot at.
You know, that's a shame because none of that stuff ever happens in Kensington, Harry.
Yeah, no,
nothing
that's-
bad
that's-
ever happens. In
That had to be your fault, Jack.
Although we had a cop shot We had a cop shot 3 blocks from here this morning.
I was asking for it.
Did you know that? Did you know, Jack? We had a police lieutenant shot this morning at a CVS. Yeah, at the CVS that Robin goes to get all of her drugs.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it was a sad situation because it was somebody that was threatening to commit suicide, and they were trying to
disarm.
Well, they were trying
Did he
to
have a gun?
I don't know all the details.
They were
I just
trying to de-escalate the
de-escalate.
situation.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. They were trying to de-escalate the situation, and that did not go well.
The officer, I believe, the lieutenant's okay. He didn't die, luckily.
Wow, man. I really have been so tied up with doing whatever I was doing that I really didn't get a chance to watch the news. But I just want to give you guys a heads up. I'm good to go. I'm going to have to go see a doctor and get checked out because I'm in a lot of pain. But other than that, my truck, about $8,000 worth of damage to the truck. I'm going to get it fixed next week, so I'm good.
Is it drivable?
Yeah, I'm driving it right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. At least you don't lose your car, your truck, and your means of getting around. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Jack, there's some good news that happened out of all of this. Tony has now officially given you permission to take some time, rest, and open up his box.
Open up a nice, fresh, get yourself a nice DVD. Just go through the collection. There's a good library there, a lot of mix, whatever you're looking for. You know, you and Ruth can spend the weekend and just relax and enjoy, chill.
Wow.
Vivid DVDs and chill, Harry.
And Jack, we don't need play-by-play on Monday.
Exactly right, yeah. You do this in the privacy of your own home.
Right.
Close the curtains, turn down the lights, turn on a little Teddy Pendergrass in the background, man, and just chill.
A little Al Green, you know.
Exactly right.
Can I wear the box of Mardi Gras beads too while I'm there?
I got plenty of beads. I got the blinky ones. I got the traditional ones. Oh, that's right. You have my box of Mardi Gras beads. There's another box of beads in there, too. Don't touch that one. I don't know if they've been cleaned. Sorry.
Those are not the same kind of beads.
I haven't even had a drink yet. I hope Bruce Arians is listening. We didn't choose Jack, Harry. What did we choose?
Oh, we choose the vodka.
The Tito's. The Tito. All right, Jack, be careful, man. We love you. Be careful out there, man. Be safe.
You too, guys. Take care.
There he is, the great Jack in the back.
I think we need a drop of Jack's laugh, just clean.
Yeah.
And put that on the soundboard.
Yeah. Exactly.
He has a good laugh.
That's my great friend Chris in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Oh, I remember her.
I wonder what happened to her. I got to find her.
Really
I hope she's all right.
Okay.
The great Chris in La Crosse.
Didn't you meet her when you went to the Green Bay game?
No, I never met her. She only called every weekend.
Okay.
And I sent her, she drank Blue Moon.
You sent her a case.
Sent her a case of Blue Moon. No oranges, though. They don't travel well. We're coming back, Tony and Harry. Guess who's going to join us, Harry?
Rob Parker.
Rob Parker from Fox Sports 1. He's not happy with the Tom Brady ESPN dealio. We'll talk with him next. Stick around.
AJ, this ice bucket is so nice.
We're not going to run out of ice.
No, we're not going to run out of ice.
We don't need an ice bucket challenge anymore.
We do need I think I have some bigger tongs upstairs.
I got a bigger thing.
It was interesting how the ice stuck to the tongs.
Today. I don't have my glove. Here it is. You know what I got in the mail today? My official ballot.
Uh-oh. There it is. I'm going
Tony Bruno? Tony Bruno.
I'm going to rig the election. I'm going to see. I'll have time to figure out who I'm going to vote against.
Lacrosse is a banned word up. Up in Canada. Canada, it's a banned word.
Oh, because of the sport, you mean?
I love lacrosse.
Throw a box lacrosse. What's in the box?
You need vodka?
Yeah, what am I going to drink? Ice water?
It's right here.
We just got a fresh bottle of Tito's right there. There. Right there.
So this is the one, how many, so no sugar added. It still has a lot of carbs.
But one, I swear to God, one is 11% carbs and the other is 12.
That's right. That's the vodka.
It's the only difference.
I told you to stop pouring the vodka.
Yeah. This is so stupid.
What's stupid?
This is not sugar-free.
No, it's not sugar-free.
It's less sugar.
Yeah, no. It says no sugar added, but it's still 32 grams of carbs. And this one.
You done with this here?
Where's the other one? Oh, this is the 100.
That's the 100. Where's the other one?
Where's the one?
Right behind you.
Where's the other one?
Where is the other one? Oh, it's right here.
Let me see this one. So this is the original. It's the exact same thing, 35.
Yeah, except 12% carbs versus 11. Am I right?
And it's still 32 grams of sugar. It's the exact same drink. This was just remarketed for the exact same stuff.
It's all in the package.
I'm not opening up another one.
Harry's going to want. I'm sorry.
Such BS.
Where's that? What
do you mean?
That shit.
You put some of that in there?
Yeah.
No, don't. You can't drink
Is
it.
that the agave with one
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah. So it's
Yeah, no.
You never
don't
mix tequila with
No.
gin or vodka.
About 30 seconds. Wrap up in there.
In French Canadian, it means monkeying yourself. Really? I did not know that.
I did wash my hands. You think I am, man?
I did
Does
not
he
know
have
that.
cran? Oh, yeah, okay. He's got
Tony,
it.
this is the exact same cranberry juice. It just has a different label on
I have a
it.
case of one, and then I had
Yeah.
a smaller box of another.
We need to get the sugar-free.
Did you open up the? I got a ton of pineapple too back there.
10 seconds.
Pineapple have a lot of carbs.
Yes.
It's sugar.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
We've officially reached the vodka cran portion.
Happy
of the
hour.
program. Happy hour action, yo. I'm learning from Harry. Is that a good pour right there, Harry?
It's not bad.
That's good color right
That's
there.
good.
Just a splash of cranberry.
Yeah, I think I'm a little undersold it a little bit.
Yeah, come on there, Harry. We got the Tito's pouring. We got phone action. We've got updates to get to this hour. And we also have Rob Parker about to join us here in a moment. But I mentioned the other big story today, Harry, is Kylie Jenner. Did you see that story?
I did not. I can't keep track of her.
I can't keep track of them either.
escapades.
Apparently, she's a tax cheat.
Apparently, no. No. She's not tax cheat. She's a big fat liar. That's what she is.
Well, that's what tax cheats are.
No. So,
She said, no, according to a story in Forbes magazine, Robin.
Mm-hmm. I read the whole thing.
Okay, so then why don't you do the story then? Let's do the update.
So, Kylie Jenner and her lovely mother, they wanted, for whatever reason, to be on the Forbes billionaire list.
Right, and she had that cosmetic company or whatever
Right.
the hell it was.
The Kylie Cosmetic. And so she was down at number 59.
In the top most rich women in America?
Rich people
In the world.
in the world.
People, not just women?
Yes. And so they kept contacting Forbes trying to make it on the list, and she wanted to be in the top 10. That was the goal.
Okay.
And so they had somebody from Forbes come out and they displayed supposed tax returns showing that Kylie's cosmetic company was making several $billion a year, and thus when she sold the company, it was then valued at
Probably 10 times earnings or whatever.
Right, whatever
the
it was. So
valuation
that
is.
so Kylie then made the Forbes billionaire list, and she got the cover, and it was a big deal. Well, it turns out that those tax returns that she was showing were complete and utter falsified.
She cooked the book, so to speak?
So she cooked it. So she wasn't skimping on the taxes, the real ones. She just showed fake ones to Forbes, and also when they sold the company to Coty, the cosmetic company that purchased it, they gave those same numbers, and so Coty purchased the company thinking that it was making a lot more money.
That's tax fraud.
And that's also on Coty for their people not really
I know.
investigating this.
Yeah.
You're going to
Exactly.
take a Kardashian at their word
I
about
know.
anything?
Well, then she went on and was bitching today on her social media about it's a big lie. They're like, I can't believe people are more worried about how much money I have than important things.
Well, you're the one who wants to show everybody you have more
Exactly.
money than you do.
Says the family that pimps itself out more than anybody.
Wow.
But let's go to a man who understands all of this stuff. A man who now joins the list of things that went wrong for ESPN this week. First, it was the Lance Armstrong thing that bombed on Sunday night after the great Jordan thing. Then Chuck on this show, Charles Barkley, ripped ESPN for the whole thing about Chuck Daly. And that was the one who didn't want Isaiah Thomas on the Olympic team, not Charles Barkley. Then Dan Orlovsky gets into it with Damian Lillard about what Damian Lillard said. And then Rob Parker completes the superfecta by going off on Tom Brady and the man in the arena. And Rob Parker joins us right now. Rob, you getting a lot of blowback or people agreeing with you, man?
Not too much blowback. I think people understand what I'm saying. And guys, thanks for having me on the show. But I'm not looking forward to any kind of Tom Brady 9-part series unless he's going to peel back the onion. I want it to stink. Tell me about the Patriots cheating. Tell me about Bill Belichick. Tell me about Robert Kraft in Florida. You want to give me that stuff? If you give me and Deflategate, Spygate, you want to dig into that and answer those questions, I'm all in. If you want to do a fluff piece and tell me how great you are, I'm not interested.
That's probably what it is. I mean, 6 of these, he won 6 Super Bowls, so there's 6 episodes of the 9 right there.
Now, is it going to be 9 because it's not coming out till 2021,
I think it's 9.
Rob? Is it a 9-part series?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 9, all of the Super Bowls. That's the 9, yeah. Those years, I guess.
But how do you know what it's going to be? How do you know it's just going to be a Brady butt munch
Love
session?
fest.
Because that's what those things are, especially when you allow the people you're doing a story about. It's his company. You think they're going to put Brady in a bad light?
Right.
You think they're going to dig into the ball boys' text messages? Brady and him exchange 100 text messages, but he doesn't know the guy? Come on. None of that is going to be out there. That's why people, I don't know what they expected when they realized Jordan had final say.
Yeah.
It's not a real documentary or done in journalistic terms. That's all. If you're a Brady guy and you want to celebrate him, then you'll enjoy it. But other than that, I'm telling you, you'll be disappointed because Brady's a gee whiz, aw shucks guy. Now all of a sudden, now he's down in Tampa. He's back in college, going to Hooters, let his hair down, he's wearing his Uggs, his shorts, I guess. He's a different guy now.
Yeah, but you know people will watch it. I mean, unlike the Lance Armstrong thing, which was obviously an unmitigated disaster. I mean, they had like 900,000 people watching it. And after the Jordan thing, obviously, the Lance Armstrong, first of all, he's an unlikable guy. And he really, the thing about Brady, it's hard to not like him because he's a great player. The thing about Armstrong is it's easy to not like him because he dissed a lot of people as he was moving his way to the top.
I totally agree with that. I get it. I mean, if you remember, he was suing people who was saying he was using the stuff and going after people legally. I mean, it was ridiculous knowing that he was lying. In this case, I'm just saying there's a lot of meat on that bone, and you're not going to get to it. So what is the point of it? I wish somebody does a real documentary to find out how much cheating went on in that organization. I mean, Eric Mangini's comments alone, I'm interested. He was a part of that. He's a Belichick disciple. You wouldn't be interested in finding out how much cheating goes on in that organization?
No, I agree with you, man.
I totally would. I
mean,
just don't
obviously,
know who does that documentary. Like, who could have access
Michael Jordan,
to that?
the only reason it came out because Michael Jordan finally gave them permission because there was too much LeBron's the greatest of all time talk. So he had all that footage, and he said, yeah, let's do it now. Let's finally shut up all the LeBron lovers and say, I am the greatest, and I'm going to show you. And then obviously people got thrown under the bus, and it's still going on a couple of weeks even after it ended, Rob.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, the Chuck Daly stuff, I think that's the most disgraceful of all. He can't answer for himself. He's gone. And this whole notion that Isaiah Thomas, a guy that helped Chuck Daly win 2 championships in a row, almost 3 if it wasn't for that bad call against the Lakers, that's the guy that Chuck Daly didn't want on the team. Is that right? Chuck Daly had no say on who was on that team. And there was only one person who could keep Isaiah off that team, and that's Michael Jordan. So all the other noise about, oh, well, he didn't like, Bird didn't like him, and Magic didn't like him, none of those guys would have given up their spot if Isaiah was on that team. And the shame of it is Mike is big and bad in the documentary, and you're ripping Horace Grant, you call him a rat, you're ripping Scottie Pippen, you said he was selfish, and you called Isaiah Thomas an a-hole on the air, but you can't man up and let everybody in the world know that you're the grand poobah, and you're the one who kept Isaiah off the team. There is no dream team without Michael Jordan. So this whole nonsense that it was, oh, well, Chuck Daly didn't want him either. Stop it. It's all a false narrative. Mike should have just owned up, take it like a man, be a man about it. I did it. I can't stand Isaiah. He did X, Y, and Z, and that's why I ruined his basketball legacy. Isaiah Thomas, a top 50 player of all time, a Hall of Famer, the only player to beat Bird, Magic, and Michael all in their prime. The only guy to win championships without a second top 50 player. Think about it.
It's Isaiah and nobody. I'm talking about as far as being on the top 50 list. Look at the help Jordan had with Pippen, Bird, McHale, Parrish. I mean, Magic, Kareem, Worthy. What? And Isaiah Thomas doesn't belong on that team? That is ridiculous.
So much for my question about what his biggest beef was with The Last Dance.
Well, I'll give Rob credit
Yeah.
because it's not that he hates on Tom Brady. He was hating on the LeBron documentary, too.
No, but you know, I'm going to call it like I see it. I think Michael Jordan's the greatest player ever played, but in this case here, hey, you can do what you want. You're that guy. Just own up to it. What are you afraid of? Seriously. Tony, he called him an a-hole on the air.
No, Robin, and the interesting thing is we had Charles Barkley on earlier in the week, and he was pissed off at ESPN for running the story, making it look like he was the guy that Chuck didn't want Isaiah on the dream team. So Charles was mad. Charles was mad about it. He said they were talking about Chuck Daly.
Right, and anybody who thinks, seriously, if you remember, Jack McCloskey was the GM of the Pistons, and he's the one who quit. He was the GM of the Dream Team, too, a part of that picking the team. He quit in protest because they saw what they were going to do to Isaiah. And I'm hey, Isaiah's made a lot of mistakes. He's done a lot of things that people don't like. I get all that. But it's supposed to be about basketball, not a popularity contest. And don't tell me that phony team chemistry. You don't need team chemistry to beat Angola by 40 points.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. The Washington Generals could have beat them.
Hey, you know, I think that was a long time ago. I think Angola right now on a neutral court, they'll probably compete.
Hey,
man.
Angola's plus 9.5 points. I'm taking it.
Rob Parker on Fox Sports 1. He's got a great show. Actually, he had me as a guest on his show a couple of weeks
That's
ago,
right.
man.
You have been on the Odd Couple with Chris Broussard. Absolutely.
Absolutely right. Now, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, Rob Parker, he's a Detroit guy, so he's sticking up for
Isaiah. Yeah.
Because, you know, he's a Piston, and he's got a soft spot for the Pistons and the Bad Boys, and who doesn't? I mean, I love watching those teams, man. And I'm from Philly.
Well, I'll say this. I'm from New York originally. Yes, I worked in Detroit. Yes, I watched the Pistons play. I was covering the NBA during that time, actually as a New York reporter for the Daily News. So I covered the NBA during those Jordan years from like 87 to 91. So it's more about that. If I really didn't believe Isaiah belonged on that team, it would be a different thing. I just think they're making up the rules and as they go along, and just be honest about it. Say Michael didn't want him, and that's the reason why. And leave it at that. I just don't understand why he's afraid to attach himself to that. I don't.
At Rob Parker FS1 on Twitter, Tony.
No, that's not what I love about Rob is, you know, he tells it like it is, man. Everybody's afraid to give an opinion anymore. Oh, my God, do you hear what he said? Oh, do you hear what he said about Michael Jordan? Do you hear what he said about Tom Brady? Oh, the guy's a hater, man.
It's so crazy. I keep hearing that expression, a hater. Why? Because I'm not falling in line with all the other sheep? Listen to the radio. Watch TV. It's the same thing. Everybody's the greatest since yesterday. My God. Stop for a minute. Take a look. And just be honest. Is it okay? Okay. If Michael Jordan doesn't want to send me a pair of free Jordans, I'm good with it. That's my opinion. That's what they pay me for.
See, I'm not going to rip Jordan, Rob, because I want an invite to the Grove 23, his new golf course down in Florida.
Everybody does. I get it.
Hell, you ain't getting on there. And Rob, you ain't getting on there for sure now, man.
No doubt about it. Hey, it's all right.
All right, the news today, though, July 31st now. The commissioner says July 31st, we're going to have now, the one thing we don't know yet at this hour is whether they're going to do like hockey and say, all right, scrap the regular season, let's just start with the playoffs. What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be the playoffs. It's going to be hard to get teams that are out of it and players motivated to really do that. And when you're talking about being in one location, I'm calling it the Mickey Mouse Championship in Orlando. That's what I'm calling it. But once you have everybody doing that, it's like a tournament. So it might as well just be the playoffs and eliminate the teams that are out of it and just move forward. They play most teams almost played 70 games, right, of the season. So it's not like they played 40 games and you want to crown a champion.
Right.
70 games, I can live with that. Just have the playoffs, move forward, and I'm good.
Now, Rob, so you think it's going to be just because, the other big problem is there are so many teams close and there's so many teams under 500, and the West is obviously stronger. So you think they're just going to take the best 16 teams, or they're going to do East and West? What do you think the breakdown will be when it comes down to picking the best six? And I hope they don't pick 30. They got to pick 16.
30's too many.
Yeah,
no,
you
30
can't
would
take
be
that.
ridiculous. I would rather it be because I would just take the best 8 from each conference, because that's the way you went into the season. And I don't think it's fair now to negate, what was done during the regular season. Like if that was the plan before the season, then everybody would know it. I don't think it's fair to do it after the fact. There's no reason that if a team was in the 8th slot in the East or the West, that's where they are. When basketball stops, and that's the place that they have. And I think if there were two teams that were tied or something that, for that last spot, then they might need to play one game to decide who's going there, or coin flip, or whatever you want to decide to do to pick that final team. But I don't think that they should alter it too much. I think the NBA is trying to do too much. They don't want to go up against the NFL, start the season on Christmas, all this other stuff, man. I'm out on all that. I just think trying to avoid the NFL and the whole notion is silly to me. You got two different crowds. Just play your game. Do what you're doing. They're making record TV money. What are they afraid of? The ratings were down this year. It had nothing to do with the NFL. It was because there's a lot of stars out of the game this year or hurt. Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, right? All people are out of game. LeBron and Anthony Davis playing on the West Coast. Just accept it and bounce back. I don't understand this whole notion that you got to reinvent the wheel. I think it's a bad idea.
All right, so let's just say they go forward in Orlando and they have the playoffs and they crown a champion. All right, do you put an asterisk next to that champion?
No, I'm not an asterisk guy, but people will look at it differently. That's just the nature. Even when the Spurs won after that 50 game, it counts. I don't think you can take it away from anybody. These were the rules. Everybody was involved. So I don't believe in that same thing. I don't believe in bonds having an asterisk and all these other things. This is the stuff that's happened. Unless you're going to give people their money back, right, and say that the home runs that Bonds hit didn't count, and the World Series championships that the Yankees and Red Sox played didn't count, and all that, and give people their money back, then it counts to me. So I'm with it. It'll count. And when the Clippers win that championship, I got no issue.
All right, Tony, do you think is Rob dialed in on 64 hours of Derek Jeter?
I'm going to say yes, I think.
Yeah?
I mean, it's a weekend. Now, where else are we going to watch? You're going to watch 64 hours? I hope you talk about all the stuff that we didn't see with Jordan about the gambling and Tom Brady and all the dirty stuff. What about Derek Jeter showing in the 64 hours? So, all the amazing women he was able to quietly in New York City get back to his crib and then leave the next day with fabulous parting gifts and never have anybody sue him or come after him, man.
Non-disclosure agreements.
Exactly. I mean, you want to talk about Hall of Famer on and off the field. Derek Jeter, man.
Hey, Derek Jeter, no doubt about it. He had the best career. You played 20 years in New York unmarried.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Come on, man. He wasn't cheating. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was a bachelor, lived a bachelor life, living in New York City. Are you kidding me? That's the blueprint. All the other guys who run and get a wife at 22 and 8 kids, and then they're running out on their wives, and they have all the issues. Those are the bad guys.
You're damn
Derek
right,
Jeter
man.
did it right.
You're absolutely right, man.
Derek Jeter is a role model.
Yes, he
Okay?
is.
Yes.
Forget Broadway Joe. I mean, he did it publicly. He had the hotel, he had the club, and all the Playboy chicks, and everybody knew Joe was banging everything that moved. Derek Jeter did it so smooth, man, and nobody realized it. And even the women who would leave the next morning and do the walk of shame, it wasn't a walk of shame. He would give them lovely party
It was
gifts.
a walk of fame.
It was a walk of fame, man. Everybody went home happy.
That's pretty amazing, especially with the signed autograph ball. How awesome is that?
Exactly right. Just imagine all over the country how many women will wake up.
That night they got a bat and a ball. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my. Oh, my. All right. As Susan Waldman would say on Yankee broadcast, goodness gracious indeed, man. Wow, this is a great way to wind down the week now.
This
is the kind of sports talk we need when there's no sports, man. You know what I'm saying?
Always. Hey, anytime you need me, guys,
Hey.
you know I'm there.
Rob, one last thing from Harry here.
Well, yeah, but speaking of, I've been trying to run down Chris Broussard for 2 or 3 weeks
I know,
now,
man.
and he's
He's
ducking
like
us.
bagging us, man. I came on your show. Chris Broussard doesn't come on. We get Rob Parker today. Boom, he come. What are you dropping over? Dropping vodka bottles? What the hell's going on in here?
All right, I'll make sure that Chris gets back to you guys for sure. And I do want you guys, one last thing, I had a new book just dropped, so I want you guys to pick it up on Amazon.com. It's called Tales of Rob Parker's Urinating Mouth. It's a fun read. It's a collection of my tweets that I've had, usually after big football games and teams lose a big game or something. I've always tweeted like, it's so quiet in New England right now, you can hear a mouse urinate on Tom Brady's Ugg or something of that light. So people started looking forward to those tweets. So
Wait a minute, what's the title again? I got to write that down, man.
Yep, it's called Tales of Rob Parker's Urinating Mouth.
Wow, Tales of Rob Parker's Urinating Mouth.
That just rolls off the tongue so
Jeez.
nicely, so to speak.
At Amazon.com.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, well, at least it's sterile, though, so you're good.
It is sterile. There's no Rona in there, right? This is Rona free, right?
That's right.
Did that urine go through the Whizzinator?
That's what I want to know, yes. Is Ontario Smith mentioned anywhere in the book? That's what I want to know, man.
No.
Rob, good stuff, man. Really appreciate you popping on, brother. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. All right, guys, have a great weekend. We'll do it again.
All right, there he is. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen.
Great. I love that guy. At Rob Parker FS1 on Twitter.
Okay. I kept typing in the wrong thing.
She's writing Robert Parker.
No.
Oh, it's mouse instead of mouth.
Yes, I was urinating mouth, and I was like, it's not there. Why can't I find it?
Tales of Rob Parker's urinating mouse.
Mouse.
Oh, okay.
Like
Mickey.
It's only $10.
Yeah, no, and it's a collection of his tweets.
Wow.
So that's
you won't
why
want a collection of my tweets.
No. What would that book be called?
It would be called Why I've Been Banned from Jack at Twitter Multiple Times in My Career by Tony Bruno. And I'll include the complimentary video portion. And I'll even do the reading of it. I'll read my own tweets on books on tape.
For the audio version, yeah.
Tweets on tape.
Love
How
that.
about that?
That's a pretty good idea.
It's like Men's on Film. Remember that great bit they used to do on in Living Color?
But for those of you who would like to purchase the book, this is the book, Tales of Rob Parker's Urinating Mouse.
It's like asterisk.
Yes.
We're coming back. We got updates, too. And then we'll get the hell out of here and drink some more into the weekend. Tony and Harry, stick around.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. People love that kind of stuff. That was good stuff.
Joe? That was a good interview.
That was a solid segment.
Very good.
That was a solid segment, man. That's what matters. What matters is what comes out of the speakers. You know, not whether you agree with somebody or disagree with somebody. It's what comes out of the speakers.
Caleb is very proud of himself right now because he's the one that got
he's the
him.
one who said, I know. I give Caleb a lot of love, man.
I just did a stock buy. Oh.
Which buy, man?
I bought 300 shares of Parler.
Parler?
Oh, yeah. That's
is it
definitely
online?
$600 or $6.86.
I didn't realize it was public.
I didn't even realize it was public, too.
I bought 300, so it's a little over $2,000. That's
how much is it a share?
$6.86.
What's the 52-week high and low?
You know what? I have to go back and pull all that up. But
come on, man! I need
I'm
important
buying it on a
here.
hunch because I mean that's everybody's running there as to what happened this week with the president. They're going there in droves.
Yeah.
Where?
To Parler.
Tony, I created an account for you on there. So
I don't even know what Parler is. I know the living room.
It's everybody who's fed up with Twitter's going.
Is that like
Parler.
Sunny Hill's living room, the parlor?
Yeah.
See, I always thought that it was pronounced parlay because that means to speak.
No,
parlay
parlay
is what you do when you get action and you want to.
You have two bets.
You got to hook them up.
You got
more
like
bets.
conservative people saying, "You want to follow me? I'm going over there," and boom. I mean,
I have too many social
migration's too
media
big.
things. I don't need to follow anybody.
Do you hear that comment?
There's your
Caleb?
stock tip. Go ahead and buy because you'll make mine get bigger.
Colin and Caleb, did you hear that? I created the Tony Bruno account so that you guys can post there at the same time. Do it. I don't know what is going on with me. I tried to drink my vodka cran drink, and it was making me feel like nauseous. And then I thought, well, maybe I had too much vodka in there, so I made myself a different one. And
Have you kept hardcore keto all week?
yeah,
Well, then there you go.
I'm feeling bleh.
I got to get ready for my match tomorrow.
You know what? Someone once said, Harry.
What time you tee off?
10:15.
If we're going to die,
in my club.
What's the line, Harry?
What?
If we're going to die,
let us die drunk.
Let us die drunk at least.
At least.
No, you have to pause and then say at least.
If we're going to die, let us
die
drunk
at least.
There you go. There's a comma. There's a hard
Is that the
comma.
top-selling shirt?
That is the top-selling shirt, although I am pissed off. It's going like gangbusters. We posted it. People have already said that they're purchasing some. So, Nasta Ed bun in the oven, Miss Robin? No. For sure not.
We did have a couple buns in the oven, though, this morning. The other oven.
Big, hard.
We have pumpkin.
I look far more pregnant than you do.
I'm just saying it's not happening anymore.
My mom listens to the show, Tony. You know that?
She does? She listens down in Florida?
Yeah.
Good thing she's not twitching.
I gave her the
what should we call her?
The SiriusXM
Mama
app.
Maze?
Mama Maze?
Yeah, Flo.
Flo, not Flo from Progressive.
No.
That was my mom's name.
Yeah.
Flo?
Florence, yeah.
Is it Florence? That's Flo. That's obviously
Is
for
Harry's
sure.
mom going to be called Mama Maze?
No.
Like Mama Bruno? Or is it just Flo?
Just Flo.
Just Flo?
Yeah.
Flo.
Not Flo from what was the place? What's his face? She was the Kiss My
Alice.
Grits chick.
Alice. The restaurant, that diner.
Mel Kiss My Grits.
Yeah.
Mel's Diner. Yeah,
it was Mel's
Kiss
Diner.
my grits.
And that actor, Vic Tayback, was the guy.
Right.
Vic Tayback.
He never looked like he took a shower.
No, exactly.
That was one of the most twisted, perplexed shows.
That was a
of
great
the
show.
70s.
Those shows. That's when sitcoms were great.
Linda Lavin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Was
Not
Alice.
Linda Lovelace.
No.
But
She was in a different.
They would get into the ugly stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like really ugly topics.
Well, look back in the day. Look at the
Family.
Jeffersons.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Archie Bunker. They touched stuff that they would never touch today on TV.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
We're at that portion of the program, Harry Mays, where people are starting to think about their Saturday golf plans.
Yes.
What time's your tee time tomorrow, huh?
10:15.
Now, what happens if you're late? Do you lose? Or what are they sending people off? What's the intervals?
They're doing 15-minute intervals, which is nice, which is normally almost double normal places.
Now, have you had to play through and tell the schmucks in front of you, hey, you stupid old bastards, move away, I'm playing through?
Well, yeah, you got to be courteous. You know, if they allow you to play through, you can't.
What happens if you want to play
They
through?
should allow you to play through. If you're
Say,
up
hey,
somebody's butt all
hey,
day.
you grease balls.
Yeah.
Put down the cigars or keep your asses moving here. Play best ball.
Right. No, we don't play best
No, I'm telling the group in front of you.
Oh, okay.
If they're like Tom Brady and they're shooting it all over the place and spraying it on the next fairway, you got to tell them, hey, just pick up the ball.
Yeah.
Right?
No, we haven't had any issues.
No throwdowns yet, huh?
No. Nothing yet.
Tony, during the commercial break, we
Yes.
found out in the Twitch chat room from Harry that his mother regularly
listening to the
is
show
listening
down
to the
there?
show.
She's listened. I've given her the app, the SiriusXM app.
And, it's free right through the June 1st.
Right, but I have an account, so she
beautiful.
just uses mine.
Boom.
And she puts
Now,
it
what
on
does she
her
think?
iPad.
And her name is Flo.
Flo.
Not Flo from Progressive.
No.
Not Flo from the great restaurant show back in the day with Vic Tayback. Remember, she was the
Alice.
waitress. Alice was the other chick.
Right.
Flo
Linda
was the
Lavin.
Flo was one who said, "Kiss my grits."
Right. She always put the pencil in her hair, in her
Exactly.
bun, right?
I used to do that too.
Kiss my grits.
Yeah.
That's when comedy on television was funny. That's when you can take chances.
Well, it
back
was
in
like
the
Norman
70s.
Lear stuff.
Exactly.
you know?
Norman Lear is a genius. Actually, we could get Norman Lear on the show. I didn't even realize he was still alive.
Yes.
I didn't either.
I requested him, actually.
We should get Norman Lear on the show and talk about the difference between what you can do today
Mm-hmm.
in this PC world of everybody's pissed off and everybody's triggered, as opposed to Archie Bunker,
All in the family, yeah.
Jeffersons, the diner shows,
Yeah.
all of those comedies in the
Good
70s.
times,
You
yeah.
could do stuff that dealt with real issues going on right now.
You
got to walk on eggshells to do anything.
Welcome Back, Kotter was a great show.
Exactly, Mr. Kotter. Yeah. And then Gabe Kaplan became a poker degenerate gambler, right? Isn't he like one of the great poker players?
I think he was.
He was. I mean, this guy would kill at poker. Gabe Kaplan became a professional poker player.
Nothing wrong with
Did
that.
not know
Poker.
that. But we want to give an official shout out to Mama Mays, a.k.a.
Mama
Flo.
Mays. Put your hands together, everybody.
And welcome.
What up, Flows? What up? Now, she have extra room in her place if Robin and I want to go down and crash in Florida?
Yeah.
Now, what part of Florida? She's on the West Coast?
She's in the middle of nowhere.
That's why I like it.
On the West Coast, yeah.
Where down? Now, down there like Naples? How far?
No, north of Tampa.
North of Tampa?
Yeah.
Where we
Hernando County.
Oh, I love Hernando County. That's where all the weeds grow and stuff.
Exactly.
Love Hernando County, man.
Flo has some interest in some property there that may or may not grow weed.
There's a lot. Trust me, it'll grow anywhere, Harry.
Yeah.
I was growing weed in the 70s in Birmingham, Alabama, in my backyard for my coworkers who would give me seeds, and I would plant in my backyard. I was growing weed in the 70s, man, in Birmingham.
And Tony can pretty much grow everything. As long as I don't touch it, it's
Yeah.
going to be fine. Because if I do, I have the black thumb.
You got the black thumb.
Oh.
He's the green
Exactly.
thumb.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, we got a bra update here, Harry.
All right.
Bra, we love bras. I hope Silk Bra's listening out in SoCal. Now, you remember earlier a couple months ago when Governor Newsom of California decided to put sand, and there's a lot of great skateboard parks. The one in Venice Beach, because I lived right there, and I watched them build that thing. It's one of the great skate parks that's open to the public, and it gave kids a chance to go out there and do it right on the beach.
So was that Venice Beach or Santa Monica?
No, that's Venice
so that's
Beach
Venice.
right there.
Okay.
Absolutely dead center in Venice Beach.
Because I saw the video.
And then they started putting bulldozers of sand from the beach. You never take sand to the beach, Harry. No. But if you're going to take sand to the beach, you're going to fill it up inside the skateboard ramps. And I remember when they were pouring that concrete. I love watching people pour concrete and build forms. That's a great skate park right there in the middle of Venice. Literally blocks from our home. And so the mayor, the governor, everybody throw sand in there, keep people out. This week, the bra said, pound sand, Governor Newsom. They went in there and they said, we're taking our damn beach back, bitch. Well, say that fast 5 times.
Now, didn't they, in the interim, turn it into sort of a BMX, like motocross?
No, that was another one. That was the Venice Beach one. The sand's been in there all the time. There was another one somewhere else in California, Southern California, where they took it out and the BMX dudes were using it. But you can see the overhead shot if you're watching on Twitch. It's huge.
That is complex.
It is unbelievably
awesome.
great. I have pictures of the construction of that. That's how much I love going out and watch that stuff being built.
No kidding.
Can you play? I got this great song. One of my favorite songs is called Venice Beach by The Egg, as I'm a chill kind of guy, Harry. Do you have that one up? Yeah, give me a little Venice Beach action. So the bras, they said, hey, Governor Newsom, get the damn greasy product out of your hair. Do what you got to do, but don't mess with our skate parks, brah. So they started going out there with buckets, women, children, boarders, everybody who wants America to be free again. Volunteers at the skate park on Memorial Day, and they've been there every day with buckets, not bulldozers. Home Depot buckets.
Yeah, they're Home Depot
They're
buckets.
getting their kids. Look at the little kids.
Yeah.
They're out there getting that damn sand out of there. Because so they can go out there and say, hey, ya, pound sand. Pound sand. Gavin Newsom.
I love how everybody's coming together and helping each other out and doing this. And there's kids that look like they're as young as 7 or 8 years old.
Because they want to be outside.
It's awesome.
They want to be in the sun. The California sun. Bra. And I hope Silk Bra stands with these people.
I think that might be him sitting on the...
Silk Bra's an old dude. He doesn't
Well,
start
that
kind
guy
of an
looks a
old
little
dude
old
there.
guy.
Has gray
the
hair.
guy in the green, the army green shirt.
I got to find out if Silk Bra was out. Because Silk Bra is a little different. He's not on board with the peeps. He sort of likes the Gavin and Newsom shutting everything down and telling people when they can go out and what they're allowed to do. This is what America's about. You don't shut down a public skateboard park, brah. So give those people a roaring round of applause, Harry.
Play Action Reel says, this song tripping me out, brah.
I'll get you to the part where I love it. I used to play this all the time in my car driving around.
Yeah?
It does trip you out.
I'd be like, when's the ecstasy kick in, Tony?
Yeah, no.
Come on, really?
Tony and my
This is
daughter
one of my
Kimberlyn
favorite
would
songs.
trip out to the
I took
song.
it a half hour ago. What's going on?
The group is called The Egg.
Do I need to drink more orange juice?
Yes.
Now listen, it gets you want to talk. You want you have a couple vodkas, then put this on in your car on the way home, and listen to Venice Beach. That's what the song is called. There's a couple versions of it, but the one by The Egg, EGG,
The Egg.
the incredible edible egg.
Not the egg on Twitter.
No, not the egg. No,
And not egg salad.
not egg salad.
I
no.
had tuna salad today, too,
Oh,
Tom.
Harry, you should have told me. I would have had you thrown out of
Oh,
here.
it was awesome.
But then later on in the show, what do they start? Then
They start talking about the patchouli.
No, that's not. That's a different song.
Oh.
Then the guy whispers, "Meet me on Venice Beach. Meet me on Venice Beach."
It kind of sounds like the music they play at the resorts that we go to, like
Yeah.
in Mexico and stuff, when you're walking around.
Listen, let's build something. It never gets a really high tempo number.
Yeah, you know, Tony, Scrapple Joe has a good point. This is not a good advice. Have a couple vodkas and then play this on your car on the way home.
No, you should.
You know, that's
Later
not
on, when you're
good
laying
advice.
around on the couch and you're looking for something on
Hey.
TV to watch.
Don't worry, Scrapple Joe. We're not role models, okay? I never said I was a role model.
When you're
I
in
said Derek Jeter was.
When you're in curfew tonight in Minneapolis and you
Right.
got nothing, you can't go out and light up another AutoZone, just put on The Egg.
Do
Venice Beach.
not
And
do
let your mind,
what
let your
I
mind
do.
take you away. Like Calgon used to take you away, remember?
Yes.
Fill up your tub, put some Calgon in there, some essential
Put some
oils.
Tang in there,
Put
too.
some Tang in there, wash all that musk down beneath, down low. Sit back and
Gets
listen
rid
to
of
the
that brown ring on the tub, the Tang.
Turns it orange.
It pretty much is a total clean out situation. You know what I mean? In the
And
situation.
for those of you who do not know what we're talking about, we found out that yes, Tang makes a great cleaner. You put it in the dishwasher.
Harry's the one who revealed that. No, who was it that revealed that?
Someone on the Twitch stream, I think.
Yeah, we were. It was no. It was
Or on the phone.
It was on the phone. Somebody called in, and it was Michael Bradley.
Michael Bradley said his mother used to use Tang as
Tang.
dishwashing detergent.
And he wasn't allowed to drink it because she used to clean the dishwasher out.
That's right.
I love this. I used to play this song every day in my car. Driving to work, I didn't want to deal with the traffic. So I'd get in the car in Venice, drive up the 90, get on the 405, go up all the way through the Sepulveda Pass, and actually cut off my Slauson when I went past Slauson, and then I'd go up.
You weren't flossing on Slauson,
No, I
were
wasn't.
you?
No, that was after the show.
Okay.
And then I'd go up and get off at the Sherman Oaks exit, right there.
Tony needed chill music to
And
be
I'd
driving
chill,
in LA.
man. I wasn't listening to guys yelling on the radio. It was chill. That's where I learned how to chill, Kat.
Okay.
Southern California, where the girls are warmer. You know what I'm saying? I may play this all night tonight on a loop.
Oh yay!
Listen.
FM.
Shh. Listen what they say. Meet me on Venice Beach. Meet me on Venice Beach.
This is going to be an FML night tonight for me.
Wow. Big Bill Kennedy, 76. Harry cleans his golf clubs with Tang. I might try that.
Hey, how expensive is Tang now?
I have no idea.
Is it expensive in the store?
I have no idea.
Number one Giant says nobody cares. Nobody cares about what? You got to chill, man.
I can buy a a canister of Tang on Amazon, 2 of them for $14.98.
And it makes 6 quarts, so it's 2 20-ounce canisters, a 2-pack. Not Tupac. He never drank Tang, man. He didn't play that. Oh, man. This is chill, man. SiriusXM 53. Chill. See what you learn on this show, Harry? You learn how to relax. You don't need any of those stupid apps that tell you how to chill and relax. Just put on the egg, man. Over easy, though. Don't make it get burnt like Robin likes the yolk when you turn the egg over. And you got to have the yolk
scrambled.
No, but I'm saying if you're doing an egg over easy, you still have to have yolk in there and break it, as opposed to like Robin wants that egg rotten.
Yeah, that's the way I like it.
That's crappy, man.
Yeah.
That's a joke,
Almost
man.
like a hard-boiled egg.
What's the matter with you, man?
Exactly.
What's the matter with you? Get out of here. We want to thank everybody for participating. Rob Parker, Bruce Arians, and Joe Yunus. Have a great weekend, everybody. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. God bless America, and enjoy your weekend. It's still the land of the free and the home of the brave, yo.
91 Sixers says the son Chris experimented to this song 10 years ago.
Whose son? His son?
Are they referring to your son?
No, my son didn't listen to The Egg.
I don't know.
Rob Parker was really solid.
Yeah, he was great.
You know why? Because we had fun. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just like ripping Tom Brady and ripping Michael Jordan.
Can you say goodbye to all the Twitchies so that we can
Bye-bye.
have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe out there, and we will see you back here again on Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern.
And don't forget, if you
SiriusXM.
want to hear it again later on with some added enhancements, SB Nation Radio, 10 p.m. to 1. If you're riding around and you got the egg on, you got chill on, just pop on SB Nation Radio, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And as Rebel Man 9311 says, all right, everybody, get out! Get out!
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a straight edge on it, so it's very easy. Maybe in our world here, to live a happy little mountain.
Thanks for tuning in to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays. Did you miss any of the show? Subscribe and download the audio available on all your favorite podcast apps such as iTunes, Spreaker, etc. Hope to see you back here live Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM Channel 211 and Twitch.tv.